Okay, to recap what is going on in the game. We are in Summer 1, so we are 8 years old right now, and our life, you basically grow up together. So, we are finishing up, I believe we have one more mini event before the end of the summer to do with Cove, where we left off. And then we're going to go into Summer 2, where we're teenagers, and we get to make our character, looks again, more or less. You don't get to, change your eye color or anything like that, but you get to change a lot of other stuff. So we're going to do that together, and I think we also get to customize Cove from what I've seen. So that's going to be fun. And then we'll go in, we'll choose where we are in our relationship with Cove, and we'll start Summer 2. And we'll see how far we get. Reading a lot of it can be tiring for my brain, so we'll see how far we get. I'm hoping that we can get halfway through the summer today of Summer 2, and then we will move, and then the next Sunday we'll just keep doing until we hit the end of Summer 3, which is the end of what's out right now for the game. So, okay, with that being said, let us get into it and fall in love. So we are doing this over. Oh, shoot! I don't remember any of this. Oh, it happens every start of this game. I can't remember any of the freaking voices that I did for anyone. Okay. All right, kids, we're done with dinner. Come to the table. God, it's gonna take me a second to get back into this. Your stomach grumbled right on time, as if it had heard your mom's words. You halted your game and looked over. Mom was almost done setting the table. She was walking around the mahogany wood. Mahogany! Sorry, I just had a Hunger Games moment. In the process of putting down the cutlery, Mommy was still in the kitchen, humming under her breath as she turned off the stove and put empty pots in the sink to wash. From beside you, Lizzie stirred, uncrossing her legs and standing up. She stretched her arms above her head. Finally, I'm ready to eat. Then she cast a sly glance in your direction. You recognize that look. Last one to the table is a rotten egg. I haven't. But it was too late. Lizzie had already bolted towards the kitchen. Okay. Oh, decision-wise too. So I figured with big decisions, I will have you guys pick what we do, but then for little ones like this, I'll just do whatever real fast, because that way there's not too much sitting and waiting, but I want you guys to have a say. So that's a sick apartment. Hey Adam, how you doing? Right? They have a nice house. Welcome to our life, the dating sim, where you grow up with the love of your life. Or you cannot. That's the great thing about this game. You can choose whether or not you actually want to do anything or be in love, or however love works for you, you get to decide. It's pretty neat. Anyways, you tried to catch up with her, you stayed sitting, you yelled out to her, you threw a cushion at her. I would definitely throw a cushion at her. Grabbing one of the cushions from the sofa, you threw it towards her. It hit her in the back of the legs, but it was too soft to do anything of real consequence, and she merely brushed the attack off with a scowl. It was a short distance to the kitchen table. Lizzie managed to get there easily enough, slapping a hand over the wood. Mom moved just before Lizzie could bump into her. With an exasperated sigh, she resumed her work. I win again! You didn't win because you were racing by yourself. No, I told you we were both racing. You're just so slow. I wasn't racing, and you know it. That sounds like something a rotten egg would say. Lizzie grinned, her hands on her hips, then looked over your shoulder. Cove's here. Cove, you can be the tiebreaker. Was that real race that I totally won? You blinked. You'd almost forgotten about him. I, in fact, did not know he was there, so there we go. The fact that Cove preferred to keep to himself didn't help matters either. You spotted Cove still on the floor. His legs were crossed beneath him, the arm with the cast resting in his lap. He looked at the two of you with a slight frown. It felt sort of strange to see him still here so late. Tonight, Cove had come to your house for a sleepover. Your moms and his dad had planned it a few days ago. You weren't surprised. You had overheard your moms discussing it. You hadn't expected it when your moms told you, but you didn't mind Cove sleeping over. The idea made you uncomfortable. He was going to sleep in your room. I'm gonna go with this one because we're still like hesitant about Cove right now, I think. As an 8-year-old, you know? Mommy hadn't promised it would be alright though. You had to go along with it. Cove pursed his lips at Lizzie's question, but he didn't respond. Maybe he was planning on ignoring her, not that Lizzie would make it easy. This wasn't the first time she had asked him to be a referee for one of her sudden races.
Come on!
Well, did I win or what? Cove still didn't respond. He turned away, refusing to weigh in. Lizzie glowered, but it had no effect. She crossed her arms and turned back to you. There you go. I won. He didn't say anything. So, that means it should be up to the oldest instead. You're still the rotten egg. That's enough. Nobody here is a loser or a rotten egg. You're each farm fresh. Which is a sentence I never thought I'd say.
All right.
Now listen to Mom and come sit at the table for dinner, all three of you. You and Lizzie obeyed, sitting across from each other at the edge of the table. Lizzie blew a raspberry at you when Mom turned her back. Your parents brought the last of the food, then they took seats further down the table instead of sitting right next to you and Lizzie. Only Cove was left out. He had stood up from his spot on the floor, but he hadn't made a move towards the kitchen. Cove, you can sit too. Slowly, he eyed the 4 seats that were left. Oh, that's so uncomfy. Do you remember being at like friends' houses and you didn't know where to... Oh God, I feel so bad for Cove. Thanks to the new seating arrangement, your parents chose one free chair was beside you and another next to Lizzie. The last 2 were on the other side of the table where your moms were sitting. Oh, should we throw him a bone? Sit next to me. You can sit anywhere you want to. You stayed quiet. I feel like Cove is too awkward. If we said you can sit anywhere you want to, he'd probably just like sit on the floor. I don't know what he would do. Let's throw him a bone. Sit next to me. He hung his egg and hung his head. He hung his egg. Can you tell I'm not quite awake yet? I need more coffee. He hung his head and scuttled past you, Lizzie and your moms. He went to the chair on the opposite edge of the table and sat down. It seemed being far away is what he wanted. Your moms frowned. You shrugged it off and turned back to your plate. Now that everyone was situated, Mommy began to pass out plates.
Okay.
Dig in, kids. I cooked a little bit of everything for dinner tonight. Be sure not to avoid all the veggies.
Ugh.
Yes, Mom. Each person at the table served themselves except for one. Cove hesitated again. He fidgeted with his hands clamped on the top of his knees. He didn't seem very comfortable doing stuff in someone else's house. One dish seemed to have his eye, at least. That's pineapple chicken. Want to try some? Not really. Sorry. By then, your moms had noted that Cove still had nothing on his plate as well. Do you not like any of the food, honey? Oh no, this is so awkward. Oh my God, Cove. I'm so sorry. My mom should have asked. Maybe he hasn't tried Hawaiian food before. He hasn't? Wow. Please don't talk with your mouth full, Lizzie. Oh, wait, let me reread that line. Lizzie swallowed the bite she was eating, then she spoke again. He should try it now. She turned to Cove dramatically. Unless you want to shrink. That's what happens if you miss a meal. Elizabeth, that's not true. You know that. Cove squirmed under all the attention. He fidgeted with a fork between his fingers. I've had some things, just not any of this.
Oh, shoot.
Shoot, I should have asked your dad what favorite foods were. It's all right, Lainey. Maybe he'll find a new favorite today. You weren't so sure about that. Cove didn't look like he was going to be trying the food anytime soon. You let your moms handle this. I think you should eat. It's yummy. Give me your plate. You should try something new. Cove isn't gonna listen to us. I feel like he's not. I'll let my moms handle it. So, well, would you like some of the mashed potatoes then? Cove scrunched his face up and shook his head.
I understand.
Too bland for your taste, isn't it? I understand. Not this again. Mashed potatoes are not bland. They have flavor, they taste like potatoes and butter. There's nothing wrong with that. And cheese, if you add cheese to it. Whatever you say, love. How about Calbee ribs, Cove?
Huh?
I definitely said that wrong. Calbee?
You alright with that?
They're barbecue beef ribs. Do you like beef? Cove listened quietly as your moms explained the Hawaiian dishes to him. He nodded or shook his head to indicate his preferences. Slowly his plate became populated with bits and pieces of food, while you and Lizzie worked on emptying yours. At first, Cove poked at the food. Clearly, he was apprehensive to eat something new. But he took a few exploratory bites.
Right?
It's good, huh? Isn't it? You don't have to keep asking. He still speared more meat with his fork and ate it, chewing thoughtfully. It's not bad. Mommy grinned at his words. Ooh! Oops. I guess I'm saving. I clicked the wrong thing. Mommy grinned at his words, satisfied even though it wasn't exactly a glowing commendation. Lizzie wasn't as mollified. You're so weird. Don't be mean to your friend. We're not friends. Oh. Cove is so blunt. Oh my gosh. Mommy floundered in the face of Chloe's blunt honesty. It seems strange. This is exactly like what happened with Shiloh when we were like, you're being mean to Shiloh. And Cove is like, how am I being mean? I'm just like being honest. Oh my god. When had they gotten along? And you didn't consider yourself to be friends with him either. Wait, I don't consider myself to be friends with Cove. I keep forgetting that. I love Cove as a human, so... Okay. Interesting. But the two of you hadn't struck anything that could count as friendship. Oh, you had gotten closer to seeing him. Oh, I skipped a whole sentence there. Your mommy looked at Mom and only got a shrug.
No.
Elizabeth, don't call someone weird. There's no such thing as weird person and a non-weird person. There's just two perspectives. It's not a nice thing to say to someone, anyone, but Pam... Mommy tried to whisper exclusively to Mom. Her attempt to make it audible over the sounds of the clinking silverware meant you caught the quiet words anyway. They're not friends. He said so. As parents, we can only try, and sometimes we fail. Not all kids will be thick as thieves. Now less talking and more eating, kids. You need to clean up and start winding down for bed soon. Mom! I thought the voice actor was gonna do that line. No buts. We've talked about this your bedtime. We'll be moved back in a few years. For now, you don't get to stay up late. Lizzie skulked, muttering under her breath about how it wasn't right. You laughed at your mom's phrasing. You groaned about it as well. You stay quiet and finished your meal. Oh, as a kid, I would have been like, no buts, no chicken nuts. You couldn't contain your snorts. Something the matter, Devin? Mom said no buts. Lizzie scoffed and rolled her eyes, unimpressed by such crude words. Mommy snickered along with you, however. That's right, no butts allowed here. You'll have to get rid of yours. No, I need it. The two of you continued to chuckle, and Cove even cracked a smile. We made Cove smile! Yay! Children. I'm surrounded by children. The rest of dinner passed by uneventfully. Cove was silent for the most of it, even when your moms attempted to include him in conversation. All too soon, the table was cleared, the games in the living room were put away, and you were all steered to your bedrooms. Mom finished tucking you in and kissed your brow just as Mommy poked her head into the room. All ready for lights off, you two? You were lying comfortably in your bed, the blanket hiked up under your armpits. You could kick it off later if it got too hot. Mom had set up the sleeping bag on the floor for Cove, just beside your bed. He had already wiggled inside. You nodded for both of you in response to Mommy's question.
Good night.
Perfect. I'll go say goodnight to Lizzie then. Mom tweaked your nose, chuckled when you squawked in annoyance, and left. Mommy took her place, sitting on the edge of your bed.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, sweetie. She pressed a soft kiss onto your forehead. You giggled as strands of her hair fell forward and tickled you. Mommy slid down affectionately at you and then moved her attention to Cove, who watched from his spot on the floor. Do you need anything before falling asleep, honey? Does your dad what does your dad do? I can't read today. Oh my god. Sometimes Sometimes he picks me up and lifts me really high, and he shakes his hands like he's gonna let go, but he catches me again. He keeps doing that until sometimes he drops me on my bed, or other times he lowers me down and we pretend like I'm crashing. Cove had become pretty excited when talking about the nightly ritual he and his dad shared. He seemed to realize how animated he was and bashfully quieted. But I don't want to do that here.
Aww.
Aw, how fun. Though I think you're right that it might not be a good idea to do that tonight. The sleeping bag might not be a soft enough landing. If there's nothing else, you can always ask me or Devin's other mom. But I'm the nicer one. Just don't tell her that. She laughed good-naturedly and stood up.
Take care.
Sleep well, Cove. Night. Leaning against the door jamb, she rested a hand on the light switch and looked to you. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. With a last smile, Mommy turned off the lights and stepped out, closing the door behind her. Ooh. You listened to her footsteps fade as she walked down the hallway. You closed your eyes, snuggled in, prepared to drift off. You started when Cove sighed deeply. You turned your head to look in his direction. In the dark, you could only see a faint outline of a lump under the covers. Cove? What's wrong? What was that? Could you be less loud? Could you be quieter, please? Stop that. I'm gonna say what's wrong? What's wrong? I can't sleep. Why not? He shifted, or at least you thought he did. You couldn't see anything since your eyes were still adjusting to the dark, but you heard his sleeping bag rustle. I want to be in my bed. Oh, me too, Cove. Honestly, I can't do sleepovers anymore. I used to do them like all the time as a kid, even though I never slept at them. And I hate them now. I can only sleep in my bed. I don't want to be anywhere else. I don't know how other people feel about sleepovers, but growing up, man, they lose their appeal. Cove sat up. Your eyes had gotten used to the low light levels, so you could see him better. He got out of the sleeping bag, wobbled toward your side table, and pulled open the top drawer. What is that? What is it? I'm getting my glasses. You sat up too, watching as he reached inside. He paused for a second, then pulled his hand out instead of his glasses, though he was holding a book. Cove turned it around in his hands, trying to figure out the proper orientation for it. You knew even without reading the title which one it was. That was one of your moms would read to you. It was special. Be careful, that's mine. I thought you were looking for your glasses. What are you thinking with that? Thanks for lurking, Louisbug. Happy to see you here. Always appreciated. Oh my god, I love that emote so freaking much. It's so cute. Okay. What are you doing with that? Cove shrugged, squinting at the newly found cover in the dark. I just thought it looked cool. The compliment he afforded your special book had you grinning, your confusion forgotten. It is really cool.
Oh?
Oh? What is it about? It's a story about a squire who wants to become a knight, and there's magic. Does it have mermaids? No, but it's 17 here. Yeah. Yay! Ooh, okay. Well, I hope you have a wonderful shower and get cozy soon. I appreciate your luck. I love the main character because the squire is really brave and funny. It has cool pictures. Some of them even take up the whole page. Mommy reads it to me. Ooh, definitely a different character one. My mom used to do that. Some of them were really silly too. There's lots of characters and they all have good lines, so it's fun. Usually Cove sported a disinterested expression on his face, or a sad one. You could probably count on the number of times you'd seen him smile on one hand. Right now, though, he looked excited as he flipped the book open and focused on the back side to try learning more. Can we just take a second to appreciate how cute Cove is? You're reminded of the hours you'd spent hearing the tales. No matter how many times you read it or had it read to you, you were still entertained by the story and the pictures inside. You glanced out the window. The moon was high in the sky. It was definitely time you were supposed to be asleep. You couldn't keep staying up. You wanted to read the book with Cove. Oh, we're reading that book with Cove. Is that even a question? Let us read that book. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna get my hair in my head. You climbed out of the bed and padded over to your side table. You opened it and rummaged around, pushing aside stuffed toys and crayons. Cove called out to you in confused whisper. What are you doing? You'll see. You let out a quiet cry of victory when you found what you were looking for. You jumped back onto the bed before any hidden boogeymen could catch you unaware. Cove continued to watch as you wiggled your way beneath the blanket you discarded earlier. You pulled it up over your head. What? Come on, check it out. Bring the book too. After a minute, the bed dipped as Cove got on it. Then the blanket shifted. You fiddled with the flashlight in your grip, feeling for the switch. With a click, small space flooded with bright light. Cove sputtered, putting a hand up to shield himself from the beam. Move it somewhere else! Sorry! You tilted the flashlight so it was shining down towards the floor of your blanket cave and away from Cove's sensitive eyes. Oh my god, he's so cute! Is that better? Yeah. Now we can read and my moms won't know. I do this all the time. When my mom and mommy check on me, I have to hide everything under the blanket, but I haven't been caught before. Do you want to try? Cove nodded, pleased by his straightforward response. He placed the book between you and flipped it open to the first page. Meanwhile, he laid down on his belly and shoved her closer, picking up the flashlight to shine it on the pages. His face was illuminated with a warm glow. You mirrored his position, leaning in so you could see the book better. Your foreheads nearly brushed until you shuffled back a comfortable distance. You wanted the story to be narrated. You thought it best to take turns reading the book silently. You flipped through the pages so Cove the cool pictures. We said the best part was narration, so we should probably go with the narrated part, right? You loved it when Mommy read to you. Why not read aloud as you dared this time of night? You didn't even need to study the page for long. There was once a squire who dreamed of knighthood. All they wanted was to do good. Cove was taken aback when you began to recite the words by heart. You even pronounced knighthood properly, a word which had given you grief in the past. His reaction encouraged you to keep going. Soon you got to an exciting part, the squire and the dragon's first meeting. The squire walked up to the fearsome dragon, their borrowed sword in one hand and a torch in the other. Her red scales danced in the light like flickering flames. You could say the dragon's lines. Do you need to get your glasses? No, it's just my head hurts if I don't wear my glasses for a while. I can kind of see things all right, but I don't know any voices. That's okay. It's fun anyway. You hoped he would agree, but Cove vehemently shook his head. Looked like it was just up to you. I really respect the fact that your character never pushes Cove, unless like I decide to push him. They're just like very respectful of his boundaries, and I just like super appreciate that. This game is so great in terms of like consent and like pronouns, and I just like super appreciate it. Oh, I should say too, our character is non-binary. We have they them pronouns, and I do believe that you get to change your pronouns if you want to in the future, which I think is really cool in a game too. Anyways, that's just like a fun little like appreciation for the creators of this game. You continued to read continued the dramatic reading, reciting the lines for all the characters. The next time you looked up from the page, your eyes landed right on Cove. His eyes were following the text, a soft smile lighting up his features. A lock of his hair fell into his field of vision, but he gave it to no notice. He was lost in the story. Your eyelids started to droop. When your eyes opened again, your bedroom was pitch black and silent. Your head was smushed in your pillow. Your pajamas were sticking to you, and your mouth was dry. Ew. Slowly you raised yourself onto your elbows. You yawned, the back of your throat twinging as you did so. You rolled onto your side to sit up in bed, planning on getting water from the kitchen, when you saw a dark shape towering above you. Always a Cove. You froze, then you remembered you weren't alone in your room tonight. Cove? Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You shifted and felt something cylindrical press against your thigh. You fumbled for it, the familiar weight of the flashlight pressed into your palm. You turned it on. Cove blinked at you, looking exhausted. He was in his normal clothes again, shoes and everything. His pajama pants were left on the floor, abandoned. His sleeping bag was in a similar state. What is it? Can't sleep. I keep waking up. Did you have a bad dream? He shook his head from side to side. No, just can't sleep. It's weird here. You frowned. You'd helped your mom redecorate only a few months back. I like my room. It's weird to me. I want to sleep in my bed. I want to go. Gonna go. What? It shook off the last of your doziness. He was going to walk outside back to his own house? This time of night? All by himself? He noted your shocked expression and looked at you with resolve. My dad will let me in. I've gone outside late before, and I have to go. I'm gonna tell my moms. No, I don't want you to. I'll just leave. My dad can call them in the morning. You knew that you could just let him go, but something inside you was saying that it wouldn't be the right thing to do. It's too late for you to go outside on your own. It'd be bad. Cove grumbled quietly, though stayed put. Okay, you can tell them. I'll wait. Good. When you crept into their rooms, Mom was still up reading in bed while Mommy had already fallen asleep. Wow, sounds like me staying up late to read. When your mom woke Mommy up, they were both surprised to hear that Cove wanted to leave, and the two of them followed you back to your room to see him.
Sweetie.
Cove, are you all right, sweetie? Is anything we can do to help? Mommy sounded tired after having just woken up, but she smiled at Cove kindly. Cove shook his head firmly, not meeting anyone's eyes as he did so. I just want to go home. We're sorry you don't feel comfortable staying. How about you come downstairs with us and we'll call your dad to get you? Cove headed past your moms and out of the room. Mom turned to you before leaving. All right, off to sleep, kiddo. We'll make sure Cove is taken care of. Good night again. Good night, Devin. You listened to the sounds of their footsteps on the stairs as you huddled back down in bed, pulling your blanket up around your shoulders. It didn't bother you that Cove had left. At least now you didn't have to worry if he would snore and keep you awake all night. Eventually, your eyes started getting heavy. With a loud yawn, you finally got comfortable in your bed and drifted off to sleep. The next morning, you were woken by the sound of Mom's soft voice and a soft shake on your shoulder. Devin, wake up. It's time to get up and at 'em. The sun was peeking through your curtains, and you rubbed at your eyes as they adjusted to the new light. Mom sat down on the bed next to you and blinked at her for a moment, confused. You blinked at her and confused until you caught the empty sleeping bag on the ground and remembered what happened during the night. Mr. Holding came to pick up Cove and take him home. Hi, the Rabbit Witch. How are you? How's it going? You should have seen his hair when he turned up half asleep. It was even messier than Mommy's in the morning. She chuckled at the thought, and you could tell she was trying to make you feel better about the whole situation, so you smiled back at her. I'm good. This game is so cute and sweet, and so I've been having a lot of fun playing it, so I'm excited to be streaming it today. Have you ever played Our Life before? / how long have you been here? Because should I fill you in on what's happening?
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us know that Cove wasn't feeling good, Devin. That was a nice thing to do. You nodded in agreement, and Mom went to say that maybe once Cove started to feel more comfortable that he could try and sleep over again sometime. You shrugged the idea off, not particularly caring if that happened anytime soon or not. You could have told your parents they shouldn't have tried to do this in the first place. Of course, it wouldn't end well. Fill me in, I haven't seen this game before. Okay. Alright, I will fill you in. So, what is happening? So, Cove is your next door neighbor, and basically the premise of this game, from what I understand, is that you guys grow up together, and so you create your character in the beginning, you pick what you look like, and your pronouns, and your name, and all that stuff, and then, you have your first summer with Cove when you're 8. So we're 8 right now, we're at the very end of the summer, so we've had a couple of moments with him. And then every summer you get to pick how into Cove you are. So either you can remain friends or, just be neighbors your entire life. Or you can do a slow burn and fall in love, which is what we're doing. I think this playthrough we're going to do a slow burn. But you also can just be love at first sight with him when you're an 8-year-old. So there's it's really cute and it's very LGBTQIA friendly, and you have 2 moms and a sister named Lizzie, and I think you're probably adopted, but I'm not quite sure about that. And yeah, so that's pretty much where we are in the game. If anyone watching has been on this journey with me through the other 2 sessions of this, help fill in if I'm forgetting anything, but I think that's pretty much where we are. Cove is kind of, right now we are at the level where we're not that interested in him because we just met him this summer. Cove's life, we're not quite sure what happened to his mom and dad. I think they're probably divorced, but he's living here with his dad. They just moved. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are. Yeah, me too. I love LGBTQIA inclusive games. We are actually non-binary. We're playing non-binary characters, so I think I love it. I love that we can be inclusive in that way, and I love the fact that like you get to choose whether or not you fall in love with him, because that's also very inclusive of like people who are aromantic or asexual or like, you know, and I think you get to pick whether or not you have a sexual interest in someone too, in him or just generally. So yeah, I don't know. It's great. I love it. The next time you saw Cove and Mr. Holden, they both apologized for Cove having left so suddenly. You assured them that it was okay. In the end, the two of you and your parents were eventually able to move past the ill-fated sleepover. It had all been a learning experience according to the adults. You could accept that. There were definitely things you learned from. All right, and now we're going to end the summer and move into summer 2, which I am very excited about. Because summer 2, we are teenagers, so that's where we get to really, like, actually, you know. Okay. Let's go to the next step. I think if there's any decisions in this one that, like, seem big, if you guys want to make them, I will pause and wait. I never know how long to wait for delays, though, so... But I'll do my best. I'll never get tired of that view. You stood beside your moms and Lizzie as the four of you watched the sun dip into the ocean somewhere far, far away. You like to imagine it cooling off in the water, resting itself before getting ready to shine brightly again tomorrow. That was a fun day. I didn't know they had magicians on the shopping street now. Neither did I! Oh no, so dull. Let's get out of here. Let's get out more. Oh yeah, so these are your two moms. And they're so pretty. I love our moms. And this is our sister, Lizzie. He didn't do real magic, Mom. How did you figure that one out?
Duh.
'Cause I know. That's not what real magic looks like. Oh, Lizzie dear. There's all kinds of magic in the world. Lizzie gave Mommy a suspicious look, but didn't dispute the claim. Well, we can't sit out here all night. Time to hurry home and get cooking. Who's helping with dinner? Lizzie immediately let out a groan. Mom! Oh my god, thanks for hosting! Rabbit Witch, that's so sweet. Mom, summer's almost over. The protest was obvious. You could practically see school on the horizon. You certainly didn't want to spend your last bits of some freedom cooking dinner. Oh my god. Brain, get it together. You could do that any day. Oh my gosh, please, can we play just a little longer? We have to keep playing before it's too late. It is almost over. You put on your best puppy dog eyes. Lizzie may not want to, but you plan on going home. Let's do. Please, can we just play a little longer? Mom looked down at you with a sigh, and you clasped your hands together to give your plea some extra appeal. Well, help with dinner. We'll help to dinner with tomorrow. I don't know what's happening. I think my brain is melting. Thank you, the Rabbit Witch. I super appreciate you being here at all and hosting. It was really nice. Have a lovely rest of your day. All right. You immediately nodded in agreement with the very clever offer, shifting closer to Lizzie since your parents can't possibly resist the power of you two combined.
Please.
Soon we'll have homework and reading to do. We can't do work now, too. Lizzie made her case and then stomped her foot into the ground. You mimicked her, feeling that would add something to the argument. Well...
No.
Oh, come on, Pam. I can help you with the dinner. Mommy leaned in for a hug, and you knew that you were very close to victory.
Okay.
All right. But as soon as dinner's ready, you lot are coming inside, understood? Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. So much to do, so little time. Maybe I could still get the seashell bracelet at Tins and Trinkets, or maybe the playground or the fireplace could probably be coming out, right? Don't I get a say in this? You silently made your own plans. We can't go too far. I'm going home. I'm just gonna make my own plans. Lizzie's so bossy, she'd probably just yell at me. Lizzie had her own ideas what she wanted to do, but what were you going to do? A strong gust of wind made you shiver. Lizzie huffed as she wrapped her arms around herself.
Rude.
Doesn't the wind know that summer's not over yet? That's all Lizzie said before abruptly turning on her heel and heading off in the direction your mother's had gone. Where are you going? I'm going to my room. I have lots to plan if I want to make the most of tomorrow. You thought this over. Looking off towards the water again, Lizzie didn't wait, and before long she was disappearing off down the road. Hello, Boost. Yeah, I got donut ears on. Oh, hold on. I'll show the full outfit. I'm themed for today's stream. My cat is on my lap, so I can't show too much, but without disturbing him. But I got donut ears, and then I have my Valentine's dress on, and then I got my fun LGBTQIA earrings. And then I did like makeup that was themed. Thank you. I got them at Five Below. Can you believe that? It's basically like the Dollar Tree, but like better. Thanks, Lois. Is it okay? Is it Laws or is it Lowe's? Because I want to know if I'm saying your username wrong. Anyways, I will keep reading now. I just did disturb my cat. I had failed in my mission not to do that. You thought this over. Looking off. We read that. Okay. Let's stay outside. We don't need to follow Lizzie. You watched Lizzie run off, twisting your lips as you considered what to do. In the end, the pretty sky and the soothing sound of the waves won out. You strayed off the path, grinning at the feel of the sand quickly filling in the empty space in your flip-flops. That was fun for a while, but you grew bored eventually. How else could you enjoy the remainder of your time at the beach? Let's look for sea stalls. You walked to the shoreline, peering at the debris that washed up. Most of it was just seaweed, rocks, and trash, though now and then you'd spot a seashell. It's Laws, but okay. Sorry, it took me a second to read that. I was like, Laws, but it's okay. A lot of people say Lowe's. Feel free to also call me Lauren or Bug. Okay. Oh my God, Bug is so cute. Wait, can I call you Bug? Is that okay? That's so cute. Okay. I'm gonna call you Bug from now on. Though now and then you'd spot a seashell. You picked up the ones that stood out to you until you had a nice little collection. It was a great evening, but soon enough you had your fill and were ready to join the rest of your family back home. Ah yes, I was waiting for Cove to show up. Not too much further down, you spotted a familiar green head of hair moseying along the shore. Let's go see what Cove's up to. Curious, you strayed off your path and walked over to him. Cove knelt down, picking up something you quickly identified as a smooth rock. He reared his arm back, then tossed it out into the water. Oh, we get to pick how good he does? Okay, you were impressed over how far he got it to go. It sailed way out into the sea. It was a good toss. That was pretty neat. It wasn't a long throw, but he didn't care. He didn't care to try for that. The rock sunk kind of like a rock and fell back down almost after he tossed it. How well do we want Cove to do at tossing rocks? I'm gonna go do my essay, but I hope you have a cozy stream. Thank you, Bug. I hope you could have good luck on your essay. Thanks for being here. Anyone have an opinion on Cove's rock tossing abilities? If not, I'll just eeny, meeny, miny, moe it. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Catch a Cove by the non-broken arm. We'll just go if he doesn't care. You can't skip rocks in the ocean. What are you doing? You looked at for your own rock. Let's join him. Deciding to join Cove, you searched nearby for any rocks or shells that you could throw to. Cove jumped a little when he noticed you, and you gave a shrug and a smile, realizing you sort of forgotten to announce yourself. You found a shell that would suit your purposes, a smile growing as you tossed it as hard as you could. It landed with a wet-sounding thunk a few feet away and slipped down into the water. When he looked over at Cove, he didn't seem to notice that his throw had been more impressive. Cove was looking down at his cast, scratching idly at the pink surface, even though you were pretty sure you couldn't feel it. His brows were furrowed, and there was a frown on his face.
It's not fair.
I've had to wear this cast for ages. I can't even swim. How'd you get it? I was jet skiing. You're 8. I'm sorry, what? You couldn't imagine how bad it must have hurt or how scared he would have been. He then continued to explain. I crashed. He gestured to his arm as if to say, and this was the result. It's hard to believe you're allowed to jet ski.
Whoa.
I'm not. Oh! Cove's a rebel! Cove let out on a hop, flopping down in the sand. I can't believe summer's almost over. You sat down next to him and nodded in agreement, regardless of the sudden topic change. I don't want to go to school. I mean, I would. I don't want to go to a new school. I think it will be the same school as you and Lizzie. My dad said something about that. So, why don't you want to go? It's nice as far as schools go. You'd only ever been to the one at school that you were so sure that his old school couldn't have been that much better. Then again, he didn't have to make new friends and meet new teachers. It could be kind of scary. Cove shook his head, then wrapped his good arm around his knees as he drew them to his chest. You heard a sniffling sound, and when you took a good look at it, oh, you really see his eyes were wet. Cove,
I want to go home.
I want to go home. You weren't sure what to do. It felt weird to just leave him here, crying. But what could you say that would help? You frowned a little, starting to stand. Okay, well, bye then. Are we just gonna freaking leave Cove? Wow, we're so sympathetic. Okay, bye. No, I want to go back home. Right. Cove wanted to go back to his old home, the one that had sat sitting someplace far from here, the one he would bring up whenever he felt the sad. It had been a while since he had moved in, but didn't seem to feel any better about being here. He settled back down in the sand, trying to consider what to do. Do you hate it here? This can be your home. It'll be alright. Do you hate it here? Cove's brow furrowed even more. Then he shook his head. You're not going to leave, right? You'll still be around? I love this boy. The question was a little surprising. Of course. Your parents would have mentioned if you were going to move or something, right? Did I lie to Cove? I hope we're not moving. After a second, Cove gave us a little nod. Once I get my cast off, we could go swimming. You were fine with him changing the subject again. Yeah, that would be fun. Cove smiled and looked back to the waves. My dad keeps saying I'll get used to everything eventually, that I'd feel better then. It used to make me angry. I didn't want to get used to everything. You spared a glance over at Cove and see the anger had slipped off his face in favor of something almost puzzled. But maybe that would be okay after all, as long as I really do feel better. I can't see it. The two of you sat quietly, just taking in the sounds of the waves. Lost in thought, you started a bit when you heard a faint, familiar sound. The sound of your mom shouting your name. You looked over your shoulder, realizing it was probably time for dinner. Had you guys really been sitting out here that long? You stood and dusted the sand off yourself. My mom's calling. It's time for dinner. You should come. Cove looked up at you, expression screaming reluctance, yet ultimately, okay. When you smiled, Cove returned with one of his own. But the two of you couldn't stay there in your own little world any longer. You were being called forward. So the both of you ran off towards your house, leaving the waves and summer behind. We did it! We finished summer 1! Woohoo! In between. Okay, we gotta make ourselves. Alright, are our pronouns still they? Or do we wanna change our pronouns? I think we're still they. I think we're comfortable with those pronouns. Okay. We're gonna leave our anime look behind, I think. We're growing up, you know? We're gonna grow into a new... What would a teenager have? A tween. What would a tween look like? Let me know if you guys see one you like. Let's see. I want white hair. I feel like as a teenager, you play with your hair and you have fun hair colors. like we'd have some like fun looking. Oh wow, I cannot see though. There you go. My eyes couldn't pick up on the difference between the two colors. So we'll just do this first. We could have spiked hair. Maybe we should go back to being anime. Oh my god. Wait, these are so fun. Is that braids? Okay, that I definitely would have had that hairstyle as a teenager. Oh my god, are those buns? Oh my god, that's so cute. Wait, these are all so cute. We kind of look like Yue a little bit from Avatar. Just tiny, tiny bit. With the white. I kind of like the ponytails. Braids are pretty. Or buns. I'm trying to think of like how I did my hair as a teenager, except that my hair was hideous. You know that like how the middle part is back in for some reason? I've been seeing it all over TikTok that like the middle part is like the way to be. The spiked white hair reminds me of the lead singer from My Chemical Romance, and I'm all for. Wait, okay, wait. Let's go back to it. Let's do it. Oh my god, yes. What would the back look like, Adam? Do you remember what the back of his hair looked like? Would it be like this? Oh my god. Wait, I kind of love that. Oh no, wait, is this better? It's kind of hard to tell. Scrappy too. Yeah, let's do it. I kind of love that. Okay. Do we want a scar still? We're not a little kid. I'm gonna get rid of the rosy cheeks, but I'm gonna keep the freckles. Oh, wait, the rosy's kind of cute. I think it looks pretty close. Yes. Why am I blinking on all my Chemical Romance songs right now, though? I was gonna start singing one, but now I can't remember a single song. Send help. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Oh my god, let's have earrings. Those are kind of cute. I'm gonna do the ear cuff one. I think we get to do, oh, this is what the birthmarks were. That's kind of cool. I like that you can look like you've been in war. Should we have acne since we're teenagers? Oh, we're definitely having braces. We're in our awkward teen phase. Okay. Alright, how do we feel about Cove, guys? So this is where we were. We're relaxed indifference. Should we be fond? Or should we have a crush? Are we doing the slow burn? I guess that's the question. How slow burnery are we doing? Because I definitely want to eventually do the love route, which is locked until we're adults. I think we'll be direct with him. I feel like, although awkward teen phase, probably nervous, right? We can't go down, so that's the thing. If we pick crush, we're not gonna be able to go back down to fondness. I think you can only go up. So, nervous crush on your next door neighbor. I feel like that's the best, right? A nervous crush. Skip past fondness. And then when we're, because there's only 3 summers, so when we're like older teens, we'll have a love. We'll be in love with him. What do we think? If you have any thoughts or feelings, share them now. And then when we could do love and have it be direct. We can do like get over our nervousness in our teen years, and then we're just directly like direct about it. Directly direct. All right. If no one feels strongly, this is what I'm gonna go with. All right. We get to do, I think we get to do Cove now. Ah! Oh my god, he's such a surfer, dude. Let's give him glasses. He has glasses, so. Oh my god, why is he so cute? Cove. Oh my god, look at the scar on his arm. Is that from the ski accident? I want to know more about that. I don't feel... this look is good, right? I like this hair better, I think. Yeah. Let's do that. We get to pick his pages? Oh my god. Like, that's so cute. Oh my god, that pink looks so good on you. Why are his pants the same, though? Okay, if his pants are gonna be the same in everyone, I'm gonna change his pants so they go with more. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is how it says he feels about us right now based on our choices. So it says that he likes us, like he's warm, he feels warmly towards us, and that he's very sporty right now. I do feel like Cove would be a sporty person. I don't feel like he'd be super, super sporty, though. Maybe, like a little off. And then I'm not going to change the warm, though, because I want him to be warm, too, honestly. That'd be fun. Alright. August ended. September began. It was time to go back to school. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes. Oh, shoot, I'm going to have to think up teenager voices. Still, there were interesting things to do that couldn't be done anywhere else. You weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while. At school, he was all right, but kept his distance from the other kids. From what you saw, anyway. Originally, he treated you like everyone else, passing by as if you didn't know each other. But as the years went on, the two of you acknowledged each other more and more. Something had started to grow between you. Ah! That year, the divorce of Cove's parent was finalized. You overheard... Okay, so they're divorced. Well, I guess we've just learned what happened to Cove's parents. Here I'm talking about it, saying Cove's dad got full custody. At first, you worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Then you found out it meant Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom a few weeks out of the year. Cove cried too. For different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again, but Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked him about it once. He had said he didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. You weren't sure how well it worked in changing Cove's thoughts on the town, yet it might have been part of the reason you and Cove ended up growing closer. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents and withdrew whenever it was brought up. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You couldn't understand what had changed. But you hoped that you could help him feel better still, since even without the tears, he looked sad. Maybe one day he could say out loud what he felt inside. After that, it felt like things had gone back to normal, except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed, and suddenly you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen, even if your sister didn't agree. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in your room had been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. There were other changes, too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. Underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Cove's chest puffed out in pride when someone drew attention to it. He always went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. I want to be tall. Can we be tall? Do we get to decide if we're tall? In class, people knew for him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did in gym and other athletic situations. Over the years, he began opening up more too. You saw him talking amicably with other kids or neighbors from time to time. And the only kid that came to visit the neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone. Thank God Shiloh was gone. I do not like Shiloh. He and his mom moved back south because of her work, just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird. It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was inconsolable for weeks, but nobody talked about Shiloh anymore. It was a long time ago. You learned some heartbreaking things became less sad the further away they were, even if they had gotten any better. That was a sad in its own way. Oh, that's really deep. Things at home were different too. You still lived in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before. Ma dyed her hair purple, wanting something new. Yes, Ma! Go! Who's Ma? Which one of my moms is Ma? And liked it so much she kept dyeing it. Oh, is that Mommy? You remember calling her Mommy? Oh, yeah. As a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. We were much too old for that word. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname, too. She insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth. So you did. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground and shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. In fact, she hardly spent time with you the way she did before. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls from school who were her own age. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 was greater than the difference between 8 and 10. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek Suarez. Don't know if I said that right. He didn't live in the neighborhood or go to the same school. What happened was his and Cove's dad struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop up in the area now and then. It seemed like Mr. Suarez was happy to let Derek tag along to his work if Derek had the time for it. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed. In small and big ways, you had to. As time went by, though, it was easy to settle in this new normal. Then, before you knew it, school was over and summer vacation had come again. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was as hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. To be more specific, you were snuggled up in bed, celebrating your time off by sleeping in, wide awake and about to head off to enjoy your time. In honor of Bug, we're going to do snuggled up in bed, celebrating your time off, because that is what they are doing. It was hot, but you still had your blanket up over your head to block out the sun. You didn't want it intruding on your lazy morning. Unfortunately, you hadn't prepared for an intrusion, for beneath the blanket, you heard the door creak open. Oh no, oh my god, what am I going to do for her voice? You're still sleeping? Wow, get up. Voices are hard. Go away. You pretended to still be sleeping. You got up. You started to fake snore loudly morning. Oh, we're fake snoring, y'all. You didn't get out of bed and instead made some obnoxious, loud, and totally phony sleeping sounds. It was pretty annoying, but she had bothered you first. Ugh, not funny. Get up now. I will come over there. So much for a lazy morning. Your special boy is at the door. Why did she say it like that? I'm secondhand embarrassment, like he always is now. He brought a happy summer gift for Mr. Holden. Mom wants you to take it from him. Say thanks or whatever. You did not like the way she called him your special boy, but you knew by now that saying so wouldn't stop her.
Come on.
So calm down already. Be right there. Okay, fine. Really? That's great. I'm coming. I'll be there when I'm there. I'll be there when I'm there. Elizabeth rolled her eyes and left, having done what was instructed of her. You rolled out of bed, stretching your arms up high and yawning. Time to get ready. You sat yourself in front of the mirror in the far corner of your room. Your reflection hardly even fit in the frame anymore. You're very tall. We get to pick what we look like. Okay, your reflection went over the whole length of the mirror. You're pretty tall. Your reflection fit comfortably in the frame. Your average height. There was a lot of open real estate in the frame. You're pretty short. You had trouble getting over your reflection to appear in the mounted mirror frame. You're very short. How tall do we want to be? I, as an average height, semi-short person, always want to be tall. But I also like the idea that it could be really funny to either be taller than Cove or way shorter than Cove. I don't know. What do we want to do? Anyone have a preference for height? I think I'm gonna go short. Yeah? I'm gonna do short. You're even smaller than Derek. Oh no, how tall is Derek? People are always surprised to find out you and Cove are the same age, considering the almost comical height difference. Okay, I feel happy about this now. That's funny. You liked your height. You weren't sure how you feel about it. You were self-conscious over it. We're not gonna be sure. Things kept changing with the height you actually had and what the impression of that height was based on your age. It was confusing. Then you put the finishing touches on your outfit while ruminating on the situation. Close as they had been, Elizabeth's words piqued your interest. You planned on going over to see what Cove was up to today, so this worked in your favor. It was when you spotted your reflection that you realized you were smiling wide. You were looking forward to seeing him. You left your room, resting a hand on the railing as you went down the stairs. Let's go get our boy! Here we go, step 2, second chance. Second chance for what? Second chance for what? You spotted Mom first reclining on the couch. She held a magazine in her hand, which she was pursuing through. Oh shoot, what's gonna be our voice? I can't do a little kid voice anymore. This is stressful. I'm not good at voices. Morning, Mom. She looked up at you, greeting, a smile instantly appearing on her face.
Thanks.
Mom, oh my god, you're so cute. Good morning, Devin. Thank you for coming down. Ma's at the door with Cove. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go and thank him before he leaves? You nod in a major way to the front of the house. Just as she said, Ma was there making conversation. She must have heard you because she looked over her shoulder.
Oh?
Look who finally made it. Morning, sleepyhead. Ma reached forward and you knew she was about to pat you on the head. She was taller than an average for an adult woman, so at your height, you were absolutely tiny in her eyes. Oh no! You let her do it. You happily let her do it. You tilted your body aside to dodge. You pushed her hand back and laughed. You pushed your hand back and groaned. We're gonna dodge. Ma didn't bother trying to catch you. She simply smiled. You're the last one down today. You know that? Life isn't a race. Morning. I was going to stay in longer, so you're welcome. Sorry about that. Oh, wait. What did we get? Life isn't a race. Funny. I don't think that excuse will work and you're late for anyone other than your own mother, though. With a small laugh, Ma stepped aside. Cove was just as you remembered, exactly how you came to know him to be. Cove! Oh my god! He's so cute! He leaned uncomfortably to the side of your doorway as the longer strands of his hair idly drifted with the breeze. Is he holding on flowers? No, that's fruit. His features were pinched in embarrassment, and he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must be much talked about gift. At first glance, you figured it must be a bouquet of flowers, and you gave it a real look. No, instead, oh, thank you, Lexi, for the raid! You wonderful human, how was the rest of Stardew? Alright, everyone, I'm gonna give Lexi a shout out. Did you get 150? If she was aiming for 150 follows, if you don't already follow her, go give Lexi a follow. She is a fantastic streamer, a lovely human being. We love and appreciate her in this community. And she was just doing Stardew. How'd it go? How'd it go? We are teenagers now. Yay, you got to 150. Congratulations. That's so exciting. So you're gonna do the crochet giveaway? Yeah. If you have any questions about what's happening, just let me know. And if you have any feelings about any choices, feel free to throw them out. Thank you. They're donuts. I'm very themed today for this streamed. I decided that it is February and it is love season, so I would try to be themed. Okay, anyway, so this cutie's Cove, and he is the love of our lives right now. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad, who had to suppress a laugh at this showing. You couldn't imagine many folks buying that sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment. The kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. Cove continued looking at the ground and smiled slightly. Why is he so cute? Literally, Cove was so cute. So half of what I really love about this game for people who are just joining us and don't know about it or haven't played it before is that you get to choose basically how much you want to be into Cove, or if you even want to be into him at all. You can just be his neighbor or his friend the entire game. You never have to choose anything like that. You do get to choose, I believe, your gender identity and your sexuality, how you present, if you want to be more masculine presenting or femme presenting. You get to choose your pronouns. So it's very, very like accepting and awesome. There's also a lot of diversity in the game. So I'm just going to sing his praises. And the best part is it's free on Steam. So if you ever are interested in experiencing it yourself, it's very accessible. The DLC does cost extra. I do have it, but not that much extra. And it's awesome. Anywho, moving on. Oh God, what am I gonna do for Cove's voice? Hey Devin. Oh God, no, that's bad. I'm gonna have to think about it. His grip on the base of the gift tightened and your heartbeat sped up. It was weird how things had changed so much in the past few years. When you first met Cove, you weren't all that interested in him. You could tell the feeling was mutual. Now though, you couldn't seem to stop thinking about him. You hadn't yet adjusted to these new emotions. Oh, what did I do for our voice? Oh no. Hi, it's nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice seeing you too. Not that it's nice for you to see me. Cove! He's so cute. Oh my God, my heart. Okay. His gaze still didn't meet yours. But you chuckled just a bit. Oh my God. He's so cute. It was already shaping up to be another long summer. The best part was that the two of you had plenty of time to spend together and explore what was developing. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back in, so Cove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. Your hands brushed over his just slightly. When you took hold of the base, he flinched enough for you to know with certainty that he noticed. It happened. Oh my God, we're so awkward. You worried you might have reacted in a similar way without realizing. And with that, the gift was accepted. I hope you and your family like this. It's a pretty good gift. I think so anyway. He smiled earnestly. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size. Oh my God, Lexi, I just realized I rated myself because I was I was lurking in your stream on my phone. That's pretty funny. I love that for us. There were so many options to choose from. Thank you, thanks. You are too cute sometimes. No. Thank you, Olive. Thanks. Hello, Lionel. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Sunday. It is romance season, and we are embracing the sweet vibes with our donuts and our dating sips. Thank you. I wanted to dress up for the fun stream. Thanks, Kit. I am a dork. Okay, wait, story time, real fast. We're transitioning from game. I got some Harry Potter makeup. I said this is the very beginning of the stream for people who are already here. But it had like highlighter and like stamps, like the star stamps. And so I was like, I want to do fun makeup today for this stream because I love Cove and I love this game. And yeah, so that's what happened. And that's my story. I'm not a really good storyteller. Welcome. Okay. Oh my God, thank you for subbing, Olive. I hope you enjoy your emotes, and I hope you enjoy all of the other benefits, like the ad-free, and thank you for being here, and I appreciate you, and oh my God, that's 15! Wait, guys, that's 15! That means we get a new emote! If you're in my Discord, I'll throw up some options, and you can vote on the new emote I add to the Tier 1 subscribers. Oh my God, that's so exciting, thank you! Alright, I'm just gonna say thank you to Cove. I think that's probably the best option. Oh no, I still gotta figure out the voice though. Oh my gosh. To you and Mr. Holden. Now what's Cove's voice? This is so hard. Voices are so hard. I'll let him. You said that. That's so bad. I'll figure it out. I'll have to take some time to practice different voices. Mr. Holden's behavior really was different from any neighborhood you'd ever had, though after 5 years you were used to his antics, and you'd since made up your mind on what your opinion was. He was nice. He was sort of funny. He was pretty weird. You didn't like him. He was great. He was great and kind of handsome to boot. I think that. Me, as Birdie/Jules, thinks Mr. Holden is very cute. But I'm going to go with he was sort of funny. We only have eyes for Cove in this household. Sometimes that could be a good thing, and other times it was a bad thing. We still haven't told Cove, so Cove's dad tried to pay us to be friends with Cove when we were like 8, and we still haven't told Cove that, because in the last stream, we decided that we would make Cove cry if we told him that, so we didn't tell Cove that. But I feel like we should maybe tell Cove that at some point. I hope we can. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are! You shared a confused look with Cove as both of you stepped through the open door onto the neighborhood street. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. You spotted Derek just a few yards down the road. He ran up to you. Who's Derek? We're gonna be happy to see him. Derek was certainly a welcome guest in your neighborhood. It was a pleasant surprise whenever he showed up. Aww. After stealthing a couple of steps away, Derek hunched over to catch his breath. Then he looked up with a wide grin.
Hey.
Hey guy and pal. The gender-neutral language makes me so happy every time they do it in this game. I don't know why, it just makes me so happy. Like the respect of the creators of this game. Oh my god. It's so accepting. I was just at your house, Cove, but no one was there. Should have figured you'd be at Devin's place. Do you ever spend time in your own home, or are you always just here? Derek laughed at his own joke. He either didn't notice that you embarrassed Cove, or the embarrassment was what he was actually laughing at. Oh wow, being a teen is already so much better than being an 8-year-old. Derek turned to you. He was going to say more when his eyes widened and he gasped. What's that? You followed his gaze unsure, then you realized what he meant. You were still holding Mr. Holden's gift. This is kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but made out of fruit.
Nice.
Nice. Can I have some? Sure, we can share. Derek grew more excited by your words, bouncing on the balls of his feet. Awesome. Then he noticed his head as if to clear it. Anyway, that's right. I came here because I needed to say something big. He paused, possibly for effect. There's some other kid here in Sunset Bird. Cove was surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they with their family? Maybe they were cutting through. Nah, the new kid was all by himself, just walking. Did you talk? Wait, oh my god. Oh, I'm getting all the voices confused. Did you talk to him?
Nope.
Nope, I came to report the sighting right away. The kid had green hair, glasses, was pretty small, and seemed really upset about something. I hope you didn't leave. You blinked slowly. You looked over to your longtime neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove. When you first got here, anyway. It kinda does, doesn't it? That's weird. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing on his lips. Derek snickered good-naturedly. I can see that really well, now that you say so. But what did you say? Let's go find Cove's look-alike. We could all meet him.
Sure.
I'll do it. Sure. I want to see who this person is. Derek grinned, then he pointed down the street the way he'd come. Last I saw him, the mysterious visitor was going this direction. Nothing else needed to be said. The three of you were off with Derek leading the way. Derek brought you to the beach, and as a trio, you made your way down the shore to the old playground. You walked the familiar path in a comfortable silence. When you were almost there, you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon beneath the rays of the sun. He scuffled around, kicking up the sand as he paced. It was true, he certainly seemed upset, but you didn't think he was sad, like you had originally pictured. No, with his erratic movements and scrunched-up expression, he came off angry. You became uncomfortable at the idea of talking to the stranger now. You didn't want to bother him if he was in such a bad mood. Derek didn't feel the same. He waved wildly, calling out to the boy. Hey, guy, over here! Oh my god, that kid looks so mad. Derek, read a room. The kid whipped around, an unimpressed scowl carving deeper onto his face. His eyes were tired, but a strong, hostile energy still radiated from them. You know what this kid looks like? This kid looks like one of the people who would stop you in a Pokemon, like when you're running through the wilds in Pokemon, and he'd be like, let's battle. That's what this kid looks like.
What?
What? What is it? What do you want? The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted it on his feet. What's your name? Jeremy. Was that it?
No.
No, I'm Derek. That's Devin and Cove. We were just walking around and saw you and wanted to say hi. There aren't a lot of kids our age in the neighborhood. Yeah, so, you know, it's cool to see someone else here. Strangely, Jeremy grew furious by your response. If steam could erupt from a person's ears, it would have happened then. They did bring me somewhere stupid. Of course. I knew it. What?
My parents.
My parents. They're the ones who brought me. I didn't walk to this town. Can you not figure that out on your own?
Right.
Right. My dad brings me to Sunset Bird too when he has to come for work and all that stuff. It's not bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it. Glancing away, it was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean, I wouldn't want to come here for a real vacation, probably, either. That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of a time. A chore! My parents' family is nearby. We just had to come see them. Ugh! If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family too?
I guess.
Why is he so angry? That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else? No! Jeremy crossed his arms with a huff. He turned away. They should have gone by themselves, since they cared so much and left me home. But I'm not allowed to be by myself. Poof! It makes no sense. They're the ones who don't know how to do anything, and I'm just the kid? You kept quiet. You shouldn't talk about your parents like that. Sorry, it must suck being forced to do something you don't want. We just said hello. You don't have to keep complaining to us. Calm down. You don't have to yell so much. Who peed in your cereal this morning? I don't know. Anyone feel strongly about these choices? I'm leaning towards the who peed in your cereal this morning. This kid is grumpy. He's an unhappy youth. Either that or like, I'm sorry, that sucks, but I don't feel like sympathizing with him is going to make a difference. He just like seems like the type of person who wants to be unhappy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm going with who peed in your cereal. Jeremy's lip curled as his face contorted from anger to horror.
That's disgusting.
Why would you say something like that?
Sheesh.
It's just an expression. He took a deep breath. You thought for one hopeful second that maybe he was calming himself down. He was not. Yeah, Adam, you and I are on the same page. Who paid in your cereal? So what? You're putting in people's heads? I don't want to have to think about it, and someone brainless might decide it's a good idea and actually do it. Ew. There are some real stupids out in the world, you know? You're all living proof of that. Hey!
Hey.
We're not stupid. I'm smarter than you are. Shut up. Stop it. We're 13, so I'm gonna go with the retaliation. I'm smarter than you are. How are you gonna prove that? You're just saying one moronic thing after another. You're turning to Cove, lowering your voice. The two of you aren't that similar after all. Jeremy must have had good hearing, though, because he caught the private exchange and scoffed.
Stupid.
Ugh, of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid. Did you just insult Cove's eyebrows? Cove's cheeks flushed crimson at the insult. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger, maybe both. Come on. Oh, we're gonna fight him. Oh, is there a fight him option? What? No, like, no, Cove's eyebrows are so cool. How can you say that when you got a bowl cut? Oh, we're fighting words. Don't listen to him. They're really unique and special. Well, they are kind of silly. Apologies go right out. You can't treat people like that. Okay. Do we say, how can you say that when you have a bowl cut? Or do we say, apologize to Cove right now. You can't treat people like that. Which one? What's the vote for? Because I feel like the apologize is good. Because we're like, shut the frick up. You're apologizing to my dude. But then the bowl cut is like, a fight. I will fight you. Anyone feel strongly? It's so hard to wait to like know how long I should give you guys to respond because sometimes I feel like people don't have a particular preference, which is totally cool. And I also have no sense of how much time has passed because my ADD-addled brain is like, time? What is that? That doesn't exist. And so I can't tell if it's been like 10 seconds or like 2 seconds. Anyone else feel that pain? Time is like such a social construct. I don't ever know how much time has passed ever in my entire life. I swear sometimes a month feels like a week. I say fight him. Okay, bowl cut. I do go and bowl cut. How can you say that when you have got a bowl cut? Yep, it's embarrassing and awful, but my parents made me. Oh shit. I won't have to have it when I'm older. I don't know what he's gonna do with those things, except maybe shave them off. He probably should. I already look less dumb with no eyebrows. I'm killing this kid. This is gonna turn into a murder. This is turning into a murder. You just roll your eyes, you cross your arms over your chest, you shake your head, you pat a Cove on the shoulder. You lunge towards Jeremy. Oh my god, I'm fucking fighting him. You grinned at all of this. No, that's mean. I'm fighting Jeremy. Let's go, Jeremy. You're going down. With your fist balled, you made a quick step forward. But you only wanted to spook him. He was the one who started things. You were ready to end them. Sorry, Lexi, I went too fast. I'll let you pick this one, though. Did I just want to spook him, or am I actually going to end it? When your dating sims turn into violence against men bullying people. Stupid bowl cut kid. So mean. I think both Cove and Derek are not for the violence, so I feel like maybe just spooking. Okay, alright, we'll go just spooking. I feel like that's a good choice. But you only wanted to spook him. He made it clear that words wouldn't work, leaving you to resort to action, even if it was just for show. Derek and Cove jumped in to stop you before you reached him. They each grabbed you by the arm. Still, Jeremy instinctively stumbled backwards, his practically fell over. Oh man. If that's all you can do about what I'm saying, it just proves I'm right. You're brainless. Oh no! No! It doesn't prove you're right. Jeremy continued to defensively frown and throw out insults. The reaction he got was definitely worth any consequences. Wow. What is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's words in a nasally voice.
Wow, what is wrong with you?
Wow. I don't know how to do nasal. That's the best I got. Alright. This is dumb. Jeremy stuck out his tongue and skulked away, throwing more sand everywhere as he went. You watched him go, hunched over until he became a speck in your vision. I hate that kid. Silence raged in his wake. The three of you tried to process what's just happened. I can't believe it. What a mean kid. Derek wasn't kidding, and by the sound of those earlier complaints, the now new boy Jeremy was going to be in the area for at least a little while this summer. Derek sighed in dismay, plopping onto the ground. You followed, and Cove did it too shortly after. There wasn't much else to do.
This sucks.
It sucks. I was hoping we could meet someone fun. Hang out, maybe. He shook his head. After a moment, he slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression. But, you know, what would really improve the day? What? He didn't respond. Instead, he used a hand to point right at the fruit arrangement that you were still holding. You completely forgotten about it during the mini drama that unfolded. You had gotten used to the wait. Glancing over to Cove, you noticed he was eyeing the fruit. He must want some too. Yeah, let's eat it. Derek perked up immediately at your words. He reached out for a skewer, hesitating slightly once he was inches away.
Are you sure?
You nodded with an eager grin. He plucked out a prime row of fruits. Cove grabbed one for himself after him, only you were without a skewer of your own. You took a pineapple skewer, you took a grape skewer, you took a strawberry skewer, you took a melon. Let's eat a strawberry. The strawberry was bright red and beckoning you. It was obvious first choice. Derek ate a pineapple skewer enthusiastically, finishing it within moments. This is amazing.
It's nice.
It's pretty nice. And this fruit kebab thing, it's fun. Hey, you two remember the Land Before Time? That fruit thing? I do remember that. That makes me think of it. The dinosaurs liked the leaves. They were shaped like stars. Yeah. What were they called? Star leaves? And then, Ducky! Tree stars.
Yeah.
Cove knows what's up. Thank you for the lurk, Lexi. It's super appreciated. You're the bestest. Yeah, chomping leaves looked so delicious when they did it. And there was that scene with the pretty trees, and all the dinosaurs came in and picked everything off them till there was nothing. That's us right now. Awesome. I love that movie. Me too. The three of you continued like this for a few minutes. Eventually, the display was barren. It looked weird when devoid of fruit. Uh-oh, we ate all of it. It did help make you feel better. Derek was right. It was so good you were already brightening up from the earlier drama. Hey, Devin? Yeah? The two of you met eyes casually. Were you seriously gonna hit that guy? I was. Lexi is awesome, right? Yes, Kit. Lexi is the greatest. We love Lexi here on this stream. If you're not already, I'm just gonna keep saying it. If you're not already following Lexi, go follow Lexi. They're fantastic variety streamer who's very chill, very, very great, LGBTQIA friendly. We are big support here. Go support each other. No, I just knew he'd get all scared over it.
Phew.
Phew, that was pretty bad, Devin.
I mean...
I thought it was cool. Cove! I feel like we're learning a lot about Cove right now.
Ugh.
You're both crazy people. You knew when Derek said things like that, it wasn't serious. He liked you and Cove. Yeah. Derek then leaned back on his arms. He contemplated the sky with a content sigh. So, are you both ready for summer break? How is someone supposed to be ready for a break? I mean, it just feels like there's a lot to plan for. Don't forget you're awesome too, Birdie. Oh, thank you, Kit. You're awesome too. You're gonna make me get sappy again, and this will be like the third stream in a row that I've gotten sappy, so I'm not gonna do it. But I just appreciate this community so much, and you're all amazing, and thank you for being here. And yeah, okay. That's it. That's the most sappy I'm gonna do. Otherwise, I'm gonna, start crying and shit, and I don't need to do that. And what about you, Cove? Are you ready? I think it depends. Before you could say anything else, the light atmosphere was shattered. Oh, shit. Hey, Devin! You glanced over your shoulder to see your sister, strode closer and closer, appearing none too pleased. I've been looking all over for you. Ma said you and Cove ran off with the thing for Mr. Holden brought us. She leered over you with, thank you for the cheer, kid! Oh my god! You are such an amazing human being, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't, express how much I appreciate you, and everyone, and, the support. And, yeah. Okay. She leered over you with arms folded. So, Where is it? It's gone? What do you mean gone? You moved over to the side to face her completely. She zeroed in on the book liquid in your hands, which is now populated exclusively with skewers, dripping in juice, and tiny flecks of leftover fruit pieces. Her mouth dropped open and the tone of her voice rose.
What?
Seriously, Devin? What were you thinking? It was supposed to be for all of us at home. She glanced at Cove, who sat beside you, and continued mockingly. Even if you are the most important person in the household to the delivery boy, this was supposed to be, don't make fun of us, Elizabeth. This was up to his dad. It seemed everyone was in the mood to tease you and Cove today. Oh, man. Sorry, Elizabeth, get over it. Well, the morning's been kind of a disaster. You were hungry. It wasn't us. A seagull came down and ate it all while we were looking. I'm gonna go with the morning was kind of a disaster. Elizabeth narrowed her eyes, not all placated. Oh no, I think I hear the mean kid coming back. We better get out of here. Elizabeth blinked confused and looked around. What kid? I don't see anyone. Derek didn't bother explaining. He just launched to his feet and ran off. Cove hopped up too, gladly taking the opportunity to exit the situation. He followed after Derek, but he sent a look to you from over his shoulder. You turned to watch Elizabeth. She stared back, brow raised. You ran. Without a word, you two got to your feet and bolted down the beach. Unimpressed, Elizabeth rolled her eyes.
So immature.
She shook her head as she walked towards the house, not bothering whatsoever to follow. Meanwhile, the three of you made it back to the shoreline. Derek pumped his fists, grinning in triumph. We've escaped and shall live to see another day! Exactly, but we should keep moving. Yeah, for now at least. Victory. Moms are gonna be so mad when Elizabeth tells this story. I'm gonna go victory. You threw your arms up in celebration. You chuckled together, walking further down the beach, side by side. You definitely wanted to stay outside a little while longer. Later that night, you found yourself seated near the kitchen counter. You had gotten a bit of a scolding from your moms for not saving any of Mr. Holden's gift for Elizabeth, but you didn't get any real punishment for it. Instead, while you were out with the boys, Elizabeth returned home to share the news. The three of them went to dessert on their own. It was declared even by your parents when everyone got back and the event was settled. That was a while ago. Now... we have a phone call. Your fingers drummed on the surface as you waited, your gaze trained on the phone. You were waiting on a call tonight, specifically from your cousin Leandra. You didn't want to miss it accidentally. Your uncle, aunt, and Lee used to live many hours away. Your families only saw each other a few times a year for big occasions. A while back, though, they'd moved out and were closer to you than ever before. You now hung out regularly. With school being out, you're positive she was going to come over a lot. The two of you were the same age and got along well. She used to be really fond of Elizabeth, too, but now that your sister had become allergic to interacting with her own family, it tended to be just you and Lee who spent time together. She was your only friend who was a girl. Being family helped make you close, but you had a lot of girlfriends. We're gonna have a lot of friends. Let's just have a lot of friends. Even though you weren't a girl, you befriended them pretty well. Yes! Gender inclusivity! You also had a lot of non-girl friends. You didn't have many non-girl friends. You had lots of friends. What kind of gender someone was didn't seem to make any difference in who you got along with. Then the shrill ringtone announced an incoming call. You jumped before grabbing the receiver and pressing it to your ear. Lee! Finally! Hi! Sorry about the wait, Devin. It took forever to get the phone away from my mom. That's okay. There was static on the end as if Lee was shifting wherever she was. So, can you believe school's actually over? I thought it'd never be done. Now we don't have to go any of that boring stuff and we get to hang out whenever we want. Speaking of hanging out, Lee, can you wait a sec? Let me just head to my room.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You got up from your seat at the counter. Luckily, the phone was wireless, so you didn't have to worry about any cords tying you down. Your mom's had a rule about not moving the phone unless a call was in progress, which was why you'd been sat by its cradle waiting for Lee to call. You thought that made sense. It was nice to keep everything in its proper place. But now that Lee had called, it was okay for you to go upstairs to your bedroom and talk to her. You made your way up the stairs, smiling. After you had arrived, you shut the bedroom door firmly behind you. You took a seat on your bed. Alright, I'm here.
Cool.
Cool. Hey, did you know the girl down the street from me has her own phone now? A cell phone. She doesn't have to wait for someone else to stop using it or anything. Wow, really? The thought of someone having a phone that was all their own seemed unbelievable to you. Right? I wish I had one too, but my parents said I couldn't get my own phone until I'm more grown up. I wish they changed their mind. We could call each other every single day, and no one would be able to stop us. How great would that be? Really great. We could even stay up late talking about whatever we want. Lee sighed thoughtfully into the receiver. At least they said I could have it someday. I can't wait. She sighed dramatically. I bet I'm not gonna get one until I'm all the way in college. Squeezing the phone between your shoulder and ear, you puffed up your pillows and made yourself more comfy. It was strange to think of a time when normal school would be over and you'd have to choose whether or not to go to college. School was such a big part of your life right now. Studying didn't come easily to you, though you tried hard. You worked about as hard as most people and got pretty average results as well. God, I wish I was as close to any of my cousins. Same. So all my cousins are male except for one. Actually, wait, I'm gonna brag about one of my cousins for a sec. Pause the game. Wow, this sunlight on my face though, I look like a ghost. Love it. But one of my cousins does background acting, and she's been in some pretty cool things. She lives in Vancouver. So just like shout out to her and all of the she was in To All the Boys I Loved Before too. So that's just a fun fact about my cousins. But yes, I agree, Lexi. I wish I was closer to my cousins. We would never call like this. None of them were this close in age to me though. How do we want to do in school? I don't really care. How do you think we would do? You didn't bother at all in school and your grades reflected that. Everything in your classes came easily to you. You worked hard for your excellent grades. I feel like we'd just be average. I don't have any basis for that, but I don't know. I haven't thought much about our character development. Let's see. We had open heart surgery as kids. That was something I made a character choice of. But that was it. That's the only thing I've decided. I feel like we're a bookworm, but I feel like we're the kind of bookworm who doesn't like school. Is fine at school, but doesn't like school. If that makes sense? Yeah. Yeah? Average. I'm gonna go average. I don't think it matters that much. I just like, creating someone in my head. You guessed that was reasonable enough. You hope to do just as well this year, but you were confident your grades would remain, so you had no plans on getting excellent this time around. I'm gonna do that one. Grades weren't the most important thing, no matter how good or bad they ended up being. Yeah. You tried to sound engaged, but your mind had decided to go back to school despite the season. Lee knew you too well to be fooled. You sound so spacey. What's up? Just thinking about school. Lee groaned. Are you thinking about how we don't have to think about it because it's summer? That's what I'm doing. Have 18 uncles and aunts. So yeah, no cousins wise. We have a huge family. Wow, you have 18 uncles and aunts? That's so many. I have 3. And I only have 4 cousins. So I have a very small family compared to a lot of people. I'm looking forward to going back. Let's make a petition for more vacation time. It's so awful. I hate going. Come on, it's so scary. Let's not think about it. Vacation time. Yeah, everybody in class would sign it. Maybe some of the teachers too. Though, I guess school isn't all the way bad. You can do some good things there. You can just do more when school's out. Learning new things can be cool. Gym is pretty great though. It's the easiest way to hang out with people not in the neighborhood. Cafeteria lunches at my school could be better than they had any right to be. There's nothing good about my school. Oh my god, my favorite cafeteria food used to be like the pizza. They're like long pizza things. Like were cheese sticks. They're basically like, I don't know how to describe it. Did anyone else have those? Like the long, I only have 5 cousins. Lexi! Look at us. So close. Our families are very, yours is slightly bigger, but that's very cool. It's the easiest way to hang out with people not in the neighborhood. If I didn't go to school, I'd never meet anybody new. No one really comes here. Uh-huh. Learning new things can be cool. I just wish everyone did okay with how they taught the things, not just some people. Gym is pretty great though. There was lots of sports stuff during gym. Oh yeah, it can be fun sometimes. That was all. And that's pretty much everything that's good about school. Okay, point taken. Now I decree the topic of school is officially closed. Long pizza, square. Yes, Kit, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. It was the long, and they had like cheese, and there was cheese on the inside, and they were the best things I've ever had in my entire life, and I still crave them. Why? I haven't had them since high school. Years ago. Like, we have to talk about the summer first before we start plotting the rest of our lives. I've got some plans already. Like, I'm gonna visit my cousins. You chuckled, of course. What's something you want to do? The first thing that comes to your head. I want to hang out with Cove. Is that an option? I want to spend time with people. I hope that means me too. You lean back in your bed, settling as you continue chatting with your friend. Even though it hadn't been that long since you saw her, and you'd been seeing her soon, you'd found plenty to talk about. For one, the events of the day. You sat up straighter. I was with Cove and Derek today, and we met a new kid. Like, at your neighborhood? Mm-hmm. His parents are visiting family, so it sounds like he'll be around for a while. I don't know how long. What was he like? Mean. He kept snapping when all we were trying to do was talk to him. He just kept being rude to everyone. But especially Cove. It was awful. I don't think I want to meet him. Yeah, no lie. They're so good, Kit. So good. You want a boy to stay away before even meeting him? That's an unexpected twist. Your cousin was pretty popular with boys who knew her. She seemed happy enough to have them around until they started to annoy her. Hey, who are you to talk? You give practically all your attention to boys. Or maybe just one boy. I see how much you like Cove. Why is everyone teasing us about Cove? I don't give him all my attention. Okay, we're nervous. We're playing nervous, so I don't feel like we'd be direct about the fact we have a crush on him. So I would say I don't give all my attention. Yeah. Lee laughed at your denial, deeply amused. You shut your eyes tightly, feeling embarrassed about her reaction. Oh my god. The other school food I really liked was some mashed potatoes and nuggets. Oh, nuggets were so good. Yeah. I don't know, I didn't eat school lunches often, but we had a snack bar, and oh my god, I was so unhealthy in high school. I used to go to the snack bar and get like pretzels all the time, and you could like heat them up in the microwave, and I just used to eat pretzels and cookies for lunch every day. I do miss those. Super healthy high schooler over here. Way back in the day. There was a stabbing noise approaching your room, heralding the arrival of your irritated older sister. She flung the door open and frowned, etched on her face.
Come on.
How long are you going to hog the phone? Glancing at your watch, you realized that your quick call had gone on much longer than anticipated. Elizabeth held out her hand, the one lodged on her hip. She noticed the realization on your face. Time's up. Gotta go, I'll see you soon, okay?
Bye.
Okay, see you soon. Tell Elizabeth your moms I said hi, too. You barely pressed the end call button when Elizabeth whisked the headset from your fingers and began dialing someone new as she strode out of the room. Your mom's voice called from downstairs. Hey, has anyone seen the phone? I'm using it. With that, she shut your door behind you. Silence was left in the wake. That was one way to end your first day of summer break. Sometime later, it had gotten dark outside and you laid in bed wide awake. Window rattled all of a sudden, startling you badly. You flinched, staring over at it with fear-furrowed brows. From your vantage point, you only saw the moon and open sky. You were confused. What had caused that noise? Fretting, you sat up and moved closer to the window. You might as well find the reason behind the disturbance. To your utter shock, your gaze was met by a pair of familiar ocean blue eyes. Cove? Cove is breaking into our house? You squinted. Cove is right outside your window. Your house was very angular and some parts stuck out further than others, so it was theoretically wouldn't be hard to climb around one. Still, just because somebody could didn't mean you expected it to ever happen. To his credit, Cove was doing fine. His feet were braced against the section of the wall that jutted out, his arms flexing with the effort to keep him upright. He easily lifted a hand and waved at you from the other side of the glass. You hurriedly opened the window. Cove just broke into my bedroom! Oh my god! Ooh, that sounds good. Snack bar, chocolate chip. Oh my god, they hit so different back in the day. They were so fudgy and so unhealthy, but so delicious. So good, so good. Cove climbed over the edge, releasing a breath once he was safely inside.
Hey.
Hi, Devin. Okay, we have to say what's up, Romeo, right? Amazing, my dreams have come true. Oh my god, that'd be bold. I am not bold. You're lucky I didn't start screaming. Is everything okay? What happened? This is a surprise, but you're always welcome here. Yeah, I'm saying what's up, Romeo. That is the best option. What's up, Romeo? Huh. I know that it's late, but I didn't know what else to do. If I rang the doorbell, I know your moms would have answered and they'd just make me go home. I didn't really want to explain why I was coming over anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Well, besides with you, I mean. But that's why I did that. What's wrong, Cove? As unexpected as this was, your touch, Cove felt like he could tell you what was wrong. I might have tried calling or something, except my dad was on the phone. Cove suddenly looked very cross. Dad, he was talking to my mom, still is probably. You raise your eyebrows. Cove had eavesdropped on his parents' phone conversation? Like they're warm and melted. Yes, the cookies were just, so good, Kit. So good. I love that we're on the same page about this. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to comment on his eavesdropping. Who am I to say that? Cove is so cute. I'm like, he's such a little cinnamon bun of a human being, and I want to protect him at all costs. There are other things to talk about. Are you going to stay with your mom for a while again? Is he leaving? Every year, Cove was sent off to live with his mom for a few weeks. When it happened, varied. Sometimes he would go during winter break, but usually he went during summer. Don't leave me! Even though it was hard news when you found out he was leaving and you missed seeing him those weeks, you understood. To your surprise, however, he shook his head. That's what I thought too, but no, that's not what they were saying. My dad asked my mom not to have me leave this year. He said she could come stay with us here. You waited for him to continue. He didn't. The conversation abruptly dropped off. You couldn't help but stare at Cove. There was a complicated mix of expressions on his face. Did she say what she would do? She told him she'd come. I know she's coming soon before school starts. Oh. You had heard Cove talk about his mom a lot over the years. He'd tell you about past memories or what happened while he was visiting her. Still, it was one thing to hear about someone and another to actually meet them. Very soon you were going to see Cove's mom in person. You were taken aback by the news, so you could only imagine how Cove felt. You looked over at him. He was pacing across the room, his features pained with dread. Before they'd barely stay in the same room long enough to have lunch, now we're gonna all be together? The three of us? After all this time? Just for a few weeks. I know I should probably be happy they can talk to each other now. I'm still not. I'm just confused and freaked out, and now I really feel really bad for feeling this way. Devin, it's so... His fist tightened and his eyes became misty. Cove! I shouldn't be getting like this. It's been a long time. I need to figure out Cove's voice. I'm really struggling here. The voice actor has a kind of high-pitched male voice and... well, deeper voice, what I mean there. And I can't figure out how to do it. And I'm not a little kid. Oh, he wouldn't meet your eyes. You knew he was waiting for you to say something. There's nothing wrong with you feeling bad. That is hard to deal with. We can deal with this. I'm sorry, Cove. You know I'm here for you. Yeah, that's a lot. Oh no, how do we comfort Cove? Validate his emotions. We're gonna validate him. Nothing wrong with feeling bad. That is hard to deal with. The tense line of Cove's shoulders eased. Thanks. That makes me feel a little better. Like I'm not freaking out for no reason. A momentary silence fell over the two of you. You marveled at how the day started. You had woken up eager for summer vacation, but now things seemed so crazy. The mini debacle with Mr. Holden's gift, the newest addition to the neighborhood being so rude, and as if all that wasn't enough, now Cove's mom would be living with Cove and his dad again. We're gonna get to see his mom! Wait, I'm actually kind of excited. Your whole life was kind of like that, it seemed. Complicated and hard and different. Why couldn't things just get better with that time? Devin? The sound of your name said quietly pulled you from your thoughts. Cove gazed at you, concerned.
Are you okay?
Who, me? I'm worried about you. Wow, things are bad for everyone, huh? Oh no, we're just gonna be worried about Cove. You don't have to forget about yourself for me. I want to listen to you too. Ah! Cove. Cove grinned reassuringly. It was small and delicate, but you knew it was genuine. Moonlight from outside cast shadows across his face and lit up his eyes. They seemed to sparkle with his smile. Just that one look brightened your mood somewhat. You know, I think I don't want to talk anymore about this. He looked away, his lips stinging into a line, and rubbed at his arms. But I kind of want to go back home either. Could I stay a little longer, just doing something else? He appeared equal parts hopeful and vulnerable. How could you possibly turn him away? Of course, you always stay here, Cove. You smiled shyly, your voice as tentative as his was, but you meant what you said. Cove perked up at your response, a smile appearing on his face. He immediately took a seat on your bed, not afraid to get comfortable in your room. You felt a little better at the sight, somehow. You still had a lot of worries, but you were glad he was here. And not just tonight, you were glad he came into your life in the first place. That was a change you never want to undo. Who would have thought Cove would mean so much to you? You certainly hadn't in the beginning. You had kept your distance, and so had he. Now you considered him to be one of the people you were closest with, and you were certain there was room to get even closer. Ah! Emotions! You joined Cove on your bed, taking a seat across from him. He smiled at you again, but you could tell this time it was half-hearted. He was still easy to read. Though he didn't want to talk about his mom and dad, he must be thinking about what happened and what's about to happen. I don't know what his comfort level with touch is. Do we know what Cove is confined with? You smiled gently at him, put his hand on your shoulder, you patted his back, you hugged him. Took his hand in yours. I'm gonna nudge him with my foot. I feel like that's something friends do. You stretched your short leg out. And nudged him with the arc of your foot. You had no idea how to make him feel better, but you were trying. Cove blinked confused before he swatted your foot away, but his expression softened into something more natural. Conversation was stilted and broken, often by silence at first, and both of you were able to get into your usual candor. As your secret hangout session stretched on, you thought that you truly wanted to keep having moments like this with him. You hoped a day would never come when life decided that the two of you would part ways, and you knew Cove felt the same. You opened your tired eyes, groaning as they adjusted to the bright light that was streaming through your window and warming your olive skin. With a loud yawn, you rolled away from the sunlight and blinked a couple of times, clearing the sleep from your eyes, before realizing with a start that it was actually morning. You couldn't remember even falling asleep. Cove had cut through your window during the night, and the two of you spent time together, trying not to wake your parents. You must have fallen asleep while you were hanging out, but couldn't put a finger on exactly when. You wondered how late Cove had stayed before heading home. You rubbed your face and yawned again, contemplating whether you should get out of bed and get ready for the day or stay snuggled up for a little while longer. Until your gaze landed on an instantly recognizable mop of pale green hair and you pulled it upright and gasped in surprise. Oh my god, Cove slept over! My mom is gonna kill us! Oh my god. He never left! He was still there in the morning. Oh shit. You laughed. He had fallen asleep while sitting on the ground and precariously leaning his head on the side of your mattress. With your laugh, Cove's eyes snapped open and his head slipped from its source of support. He didn't stop going down until he smacked right into the floor with a crack. You clamped a hand over your mouth and looked down at him with wide eyes curled up where he had landed rather ungracefully. Oh no, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? He winced at his tumbled, hoping no one else in the house had heard either of your outbursts. Yeah, I'm alright. So scandalous. We're 13 and having our best friend sleep over. I mean, Cove rubbed at his forehead a little, and you weren't sure that was entirely true. If either of your moms found out Cove had slept here last night, the two of you would be in big trouble. Cove blinked at you a couple of times, his eyes growing in panic as some thought that only he could hear settled in his mind.
Oh my god!
I fell asleep! You weren't exactly sure what to do as you watched Cove pace your room, looking around frantically. Cove's hand flew to his face, letting out a sigh of relief when he found his glasses right where they were supposed to be. Despite that, he hadn't calmed down completely. The atmosphere was still frazzled. It's going to be alright. We're going to be in so much trouble. Just calm down. Settle down before moms hear you. He didn't say anything. Settle down before my moms hear you. Cove nodded, his shoulders tense as he fixed you with a firm stare with his turquoise eyes. Letting out a heavy sigh, he ran a hand through his hair. In exasperation, he couldn't look at you again as he spoke. I'll see you later. You were confused by how all of this had played out, but hoped that was true. Bye. At that, he glanced at you once more. The expression was placid. In all the panic, he was stopped ever so briefly by a moment of clarity. Thanks again. You're a good friend, Devin. Really good friend. Did he just miraculous ladybug us? Has anyone seen that show? I think he just miraculously ladybugged us. Okay, Andre Angraste. I am a really good friend. He firmly whispered the word so there was no room to doubt he meant it. I don't want to be your friend, Cove. But he turned away from you before he had a chance to respond or even fully react. In a matter of seconds, he had climbed over your bed and opened the window. A cool breeze rolled off the ocean, fluttering through the Cove's hair and filling your room with its salty scent. Cove fearlessly stepped out onto the ledge. You wished him luck. You rallied him to keep going. You suggested he sneak out the door and said you urged him to hurry up. He Andre'd us! Okay, I gotta go, but I'm gonna keep your stream on my iPad. Well, thank you for being here, Lexi. Thank you for the raid. And I super appreciate you. And thanks for lurking. Yeah, Kit, I'm so glad you knew exactly what I was talking about. He miraculously ladybugged Andre Agrastade us. Wish him luck. Good luck, and please be careful. You gulped, thinking how far the wall would be if he were to miss a single step. You weren't sure if he heard you or not, but he kept going along, one foot in front of the other with increasing speed until his forearm disappeared out of sight. You stuck your head out the window as far as it could go to try keeping watch. He walked the full length of the ledge before jumping down to the top of the garage, then lowering himself onto the fence. From there, he finally dropped down to the ground. Wait, if we hadn't chosen for him to be athletic, would he be able to do this? Like, would this have gone differently? You grinned at the sight of his successful climb. He ran off towards the house without stopping, disappearing behind the side of another building. You had to admit that you were pretty impressed at how doable he made that look. Cove always seemed to have a way of seeming so smooth without even meaning to. With a little sigh, you reclosed your window, deciding there was nothing more you could do. You hopped off your bed and got ready to head downstairs for the day. Where's Plague, says the boy. Right? We need a Plague. I have Tiki. Wait. Okay, hold on. I'll be super back. Look, I have a Tiki. And it's signed by the entire cast, because I saw them at a Comic-Con once. And so I have a Tiki that is signed by the cast of Miraculous Ladybug. And yes, I am a giant nerd, and you should know this because I'm nerdy.berdie. Okay, back to the game. That's my fun fact of the day, everyone. With a little sigh, you closed your window, deciding there was nothing more you could do. You hopped off your bed and got ready to head downstairs for the day. You made your bed. It was a habit of yours. Why I'm so out of shape, running to my bedroom and back, like, I'm breathing heavy now. Whew. It was a habit of yours. You straightened up your sheets, smoothed over your comforter, and fluffed your pillows before stepping back and admiring your work. It was such a crazy experience. They had a panel kit, and then they did like an impromptu. I only knew about it because of Twitter. They did like an impromptu like signing, and the line, like the fandom was insane. Let me tell you, I have some stories. We should chat if you're in the Discord about this, because I got stories. You took the stairs slowly, attempting to mask your face into a look of innocence. Do you think our moms know? You were sure that someone would have come into your room if they had heard anything strange, but you couldn't be too careful. You had to play it cool. When you stepped into the living room, Elizabeth was there, tapping her finger on the counter. Good morning, Elizabeth. We're cool. Here I am. Didn't think you could get any cooler. Kit, you flatter me too much. I am the biggest nerd in the world. Well, actually, I probably could share that title with a bunch of people, but, yeah. She looked over immediately, her eyes squinting at the greeting. Why are you being so weird? You hadn't even done anything. Your big sister never missed a beat, unfortunately. You stopped in your tracks, heart pounding in your chest, as you wondered if she could see the sweat that was building around your temples. Devin... You clammed up. She began to smile, thinking whatever you were hiding was bigger than she assumed.
Come on.
What's going on? Nothing. Further suspicion squinting occurred as she waited for something. But ultimately, she rolled her eyes, and you weren't sure if you were in trouble or not. She didn't seem to care enough to dig any further. Whatever. And then she walked straight out of the front door, letting it slam shut behind her, and you let out a brief sigh. Elizabeth went out most days to hang out with her friends from school around town. Today, you were extra glad for it, though you were also grateful she hadn't left the house any sooner and risked running into Cove. It looked like you were getting away with that. Breakfast was eaten in peace and alone. Your moms were both out by the time you had gotten up. They had left you a serving of food from the breakfast you made: hash browns, an omelet, fruit salad, and there were a few sausage links. You took a little bit of everything. You passed on some parts because they weren't things you liked. You passed on some parts because you were trying to avoid meat. We could be vegan or vegetarian, guys. This game is so inclusive. Kit, you betrayed me. The scary sound challenge. Why? Why do me like that? Although I'm really excited for it, so I'm just being sassy. I like other people scaring me, even if I don't like being scared. I want to say we're a vegetarian, maybe. Try that out. Your parents still had most of the food choices in the house, but they worked on accommodating you since you've started talking about becoming vegetarian. You added some extra things, not from their breakfast to your meal, too. But the parts that you did have were tasty. The day lazily drifted by. You pulled open the fridge again, lingering in the frosty air for a moment or two before grabbing a bottle of ice-cold water and taking a long drink. Because I enjoy teasing. Yeah, I think that's like a general consensus in the community, is that teasing me is fun, and I agree. Teasing is perfectly welcome. It's personally how I show affection. And you had decided to head outdoors and find something to do. You hadn't decided what that something was just yet, but you were sure something would pop up to occupy your time. As you were heading out the front door, you paused for a moment. You hadn't seen Cove since he had left that morning, and you couldn't help but think about what had happened to him. Would it be bad to go over to his house right now, or to call him to check in? You stepped out of your house, still stuck in an internal debate with yourself, when a voice caught your attention. Hi, Devin. Confused, you looked over to where an unrecognizable woman was, waving at you, friendly smile plastered on her face. You racked your memory for where you might have seen her before, but nothing came to mind. Not your school, or from the country club your moms took you to. You had absolutely no idea who the woman was. The woman crossed the road towards you, and you were a little unsure whether you should stay put or go back into the house and lock the door. Oh my god, is that Cove's mom? Oops, I'm sorry. Was that presumptuous? I've heard about you, but you have no idea who I am, do you? You shook your head and she removed her sunglasses to reveal sparkly ocean blue eyes. All of a sudden she seemed a lot more familiar. That is definitely Cove's mom. Wait, oh my god, she's so pretty. Why is his family so attractive? My son lives here, and my ex too. With an bent smile, she lifted a hand to point at the condo across the street from your own house. She was Cove's mom! You didn't know, you hadn't realized sooner, now that you'd gotten a good look at her. She looked really young. It was almost hard to believe she had a 13-year-old kid. No matter your thoughts on her, you still felt taken aback that she had appeared to here so suddenly. Cove mentioned she was coming, but you hadn't gotten the impression it would be the very next day. She extended a hand again this time for you to take, and you studied the manicured fingers in front of your face and the assortment of bracelets that dangled from her wrist. I'm Kira Pierce. You can call me Kira. You shook her hand. You reached out and took her hand, and she took yours, firmly gripping wide. You already know my name?
That I do.
Cove's mentioned you to me before. It's nice to officially meet you, Devin. Cove talked to you to his mom about you? He hadn't mentioned how he said things about you to her. What has Cove said about me? Oh, I can't tell you that. I've already said too much. She laughed good-naturedly. You couldn't be happy about that answer, though. Well, he just thinks of me as a really good friend, so you know what? We already know how he feels. Okay, he loves us too. I don't know. The sound of the door opening and closing caught both of your attentions, and when you turned towards the sound of it, it was to find Cove exiting his house, his eyes skimming the ground. Considering just how tall he had grown, you kind of figured his mom also would have been tall, but she was much more on the short side for an adult anyways. Cove's height must have come from his father.
My baby.
There you are. I thought you were going to keep me standing out here all day. You tried to catch Cove's eye as he walked towards you, but his gaze was firmly fixed on the sidewalk. When he finally crossed the road and looked up, he gave you a pitiful look. After the way he had acted last night, you knew he must be feeling pretty mixed up about this. You tried to wordlessly express that you understood. Cove and I are heading into the Crown to grab something to eat while this snores at work. Kira beamed at Cove and rustled his hair, which only seemed to upset him more. You assumed the snore she was talking about was Mr. Holden. Hey, you should come with us, Devin. I'd love to get to know you better. Yeah, you should come. There was pleading in his tone that you couldn't miss. Of course, we'll run it by your parents first. Responsibility and all that. I'll give you an excuse to meet them, which I need to do at some point. It's important to be neighborly if I'm going to be roosting on the street for the time being. Anywhoosies, let's go. Kira walked ahead towards your house, and you hung back with Cove, who crinkled his nose as he watched her.
Sorry.
I'm sorry about her, but I really do want you to come. I don't want it to be just the two of us. Not right now. You leaned closer and whispered while checking around for anyone who might hear. What happened? Did your dad know you were gone? Cove shook his head and sighed heavily. Dad was so focused on Mom showing up that he didn't even notice. I thought I heard them on the phone last night that it was something they were planning for the future. This morning, Dad said it was supposed to be a surprise, and I guess I was surprised. She's gonna be here all summer. Oh, you were surprised to hear that too. Cove sighed again, even heavier. I'll go with you, if you really want me to. He smiled, his shoulders relaxing a little in relief. Thanks, that'd be cool. The two of you headed over to where Cove's mom had just knocked on your front door and stood behind her. Mom answered the door after a minute, her eyebrows lifting in surprise at the group she found in front of her. You realized that, like you, she would have no idea that this was Cove's mom who was hanging with you. However, after blinking at the women a couple of times and looking between her and Cove, the realization seemed to strike her. Hello there, I'm Pamela. I see you've met my kid, Devin, and I'm guessing you've already known Cove for a while. Kira laughed and you and Cove exchanged looks at your parents' weird sense of humor. I'm Kira Price, Cove's mom. It's so nice to meet you. A head of purple hair popped out and I clicked too fast. What was it? popped up in your eye as Mom popped her head behind Mom, squeezing herself in beside her. Okay. We have company. I was wondering what all the commotion was. She grinned excitedly at Kira, the two of them introducing themselves, and shook hands.
Hello.
Hi, Devin. Cove. Cove smiled at Mom shyly, and she gestured a hand towards the living room. There's no use hanging around in the doorway. Why don't you come in? I'd love to, but I promised to take my son out to eat, and I wouldn't want to hold you up with a surprise visit. Ah, I understand. You're welcome to stop by any time.
Of course.
I'll take you up on the offer when I can. Count on it. Would you mind too much if Devin went with Cove and I? My treat. We won't be driving, just a quick walk down the road. Sure, that sounds nice.
Have fun.
I hope you all have fun. You gave your moms a look and they smiled at you fondly. You were happy they were letting you go. You could tell that Cove really needed the support and you were ready to be there for him.
Marvelous.
Expect us back in an hour or two. We look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Your parents waved goodbye to the three of you as you backed up onto the street. There was the sound of the front door closing behind you. I'm pretty positive I saw some restaurants when I was in the taxi, not too far from here. Yeah, there's a lot of them around. The answer was straightforward and the tone was curt. Cove was usually more lighthearted than that. Kira put her hands on her hips and smiled at her son. Well, you sound like the expert. Do you have any recommendations for a place nearby? Not really. Kira pouted at him a little and turned to you instead. How about you, Devin? Want to point me in the right direction? You shrugged. You've been to a lot of places in town, but none of them really stood out. Well, let's head into town and see what we can find. Will you show us the way? You nodded, taking the lead of your little group as Cove and his mom followed behind you. Together, the three of you left the neighborhood behind. You walked around for a little while, looking at the different options and gazing into various shop windows. Most of the restaurants you passed were filled with guests already sampling the town's various food places. When you headed past a familiar place with gold writing on the glass and a red lacquered roof that you had always admired, you started to slow down. My family comes here all the time. It's really good.
Come on.
I think we have a winner. I've always loved Chinese food. Let's head on in. The restaurant was busy as usual, but luckily you were shown right to a small table. Kira lowered herself into the chair while Cove picked the one diagonal to her, not facing her or to her side. It was awkward. Let's see, to start, what would you like all to drink? I'll get an orange soda.
Noted.
Noted. Devin? Just water. Lemon or anything? There's sugar on the table. Who puts sugar in their water? Wait a second. Sure. Kira placed the order for your drinks, getting a black hot coffee for herself, and it didn't take long before they were brought to the table and set in front of you. You took a long sip of your water as you looked around the restaurant. Your small group checked over the menus, and you decided to order a usual thing. You had been to this restaurant many times, so you knew what was good and what wasn't. Kira and Cove didn't need any encouragement for this. They were totally focused on information in front of them. Soon the meals, too, were ordered, and the menus taken away. You glanced at the table, waiting to figure out what to say. Cove sunk back further into a seat and avoided eye contact. He started to twiddle his thumbs while acting like all this was perfectly normal. This is so awkward. I feel like we're like on a weird date with Cove's mom and Cove at the same time. Whoever did this must have a sweet personality. Right? I totally agree, Kit. Whoever made this game has to be like one of the sweetest people on the planet. I know they have a Patreon that you can go and donate to because I think they're making Summer 4. They're working on that, and that's gonna be added to the game at some point. His sour feelings today were unignorable. Instead of asking more open questions, he brushed off. Kira had mercy on her son and instead put her focus on you. Oh God. So Devin, what's a few things that you're into? There gotta be something you do for fun, especially now that you're not buried in school assignments. Oh no, what do we like? Let's do some character development. We have already decided we hate school. Or, like, we don't hate it, but, like, it's not our fave. So I'm gonna say we like... Well, we're streaming right now, so games are fun. I like to play video games. I don't know much about them. Maybe you can show me sometime. Oh god, wait, oh no, I thought she had a tattoo. I was like, that's a really cool tattoo. I like board games. That's great. You should all play a game together sometime. And I like to read comic books. Oh, just like Cove's daddy back in the day. Ew, don't say daddy. Manga. I haven't heard of that style, but I'm sure it's very good. Fiction novels? Me too. Nothing beats curling up with a good book. And what else do we like? We like music. I want to play an instrument. Should we be cool? Let's play the drums. I feel like we'd play the drums, right? Right? I feel like we would. I get to practice at school and stuff though. I listen to a lot of it. I have an MP3 player at home that my mom helped me put some music on, and I've seen some concerts. Awesome! I like that we're like creating our personality right now. Oh! What is this option? I'm really into Cove. Why is that an option? This game is so bold. Oh my god. Think about if you're playing, since we selected nervous crush, like, obviously we would never say that, but think if you're, like, a direct crush, if you're, like, you could be very bold. I wonder what would happen if you did that. I like to watch stand-up comedy. Cool, cool. TV. It's pretty addicting when you find a good series, isn't it? Speaking of good series, has anyone seen WandaVision episode 5 yet? Because movies, people. Oh, people watching is quite the unique hobby. And I go to the beach and swim. You must be a strong swimmer since you live so close to the ocean. I find the water a little scary, but I still like to dip my toes sometimes. Look for seashells. I keep the best ones I find for my collection. I'm sure it's an incredible collection. Oh my god, wait, Cove surfs. We have that hobby with Cove. Oh, do you and Cove surf together? Kira looked at Cove expectantly, who mumbled something non-committedly and looked away again. And that's everything I'm gonna say. Oh, I hang out with people. It's nice to spend time with, have friends and family to spend time with. And you didn't say anything else. Thanks, I'm happy to learn more about you. There's so much I hadn't heard. Cove leaves the details out. He was trying not to pay attention, but you could tell he was uncomfortable. Hoping it would clear some of the tension in the air, you decide to ask Kira a few questions of your own. Cove hadn't told you much about her, and you were curious to know more about this woman who was such a big part of his life. What exactly do you do for work? I'm a travel writer for a magazine and things. I keep people in the loop on what's worth seeing. It's good work. Oh my god, wait, Cove's mom is so cool. I'm gonna be Cove's mom? Wow. What do you like to do? Where do you live normally? Are you in a relationship now? Why did you and Mr. Holden get divorced? Wait, okay. Kit / anyone else watching, what do we want to ask Cove's mom? That's not gonna piss Cove off. Obviously we can't ask about the divorce. If we ask that, that's gonna piss Cove off for sure. Anyone have any feelings? I feel like maybe asking where she lives normally. I'm really curious about where she lives. Or if she's in a relationship. No, that'd make Cove uncomfy. What do you like to do? That's a good one too. I feel like either what do you like to do or where do you live normally? Live normally? Okay. Let's do that one. Where do you live normally? Nevada. Have you been there? You shook your head. It's a beautiful place. Oh, my cat is freaking out again. We love that. Unclear why this happens on the occasion. Sorry. Just making it invisible. Okay. It's a beautiful place to check it out if you can. Oh, we get to ask 2 things. Okay, I thought it was just gonna be a 1 thing. Let's ask her what she likes to do. Spend time with my little boy, of course, and traveling. A real shock, huh? Alright, that's all we're gonna ask. I'm too scared to ask the other questions. And it didn't seem to bother her that the conversation dropped off. Oh my god, Cove looks so awkward. Cove sipped his soda angrily, slurping up the remaining drink with furrowed brows. He looked ready to run straight out of the restaurant. You weren't sure if coming along had ended up making the lunch better or worse. I'm gonna make a silly face at him. You stared at Cove until he glanced at you in annoyance, and then you lifted your nose with a finger and poked out your tongue. It took a couple of moments, but you finally, he cracked a smile, and that made you feel a little lighter inside.
Very cute.
You two seem really cute together. Cove covered his face with his hands and leaned back in his seat.
Seriously?
Ugh, Mom, why would you say that? Yeah, Mom, do you know that we're just really good friends? Cove said so himself. Thanks, we are cute. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna blush. We're nervous. We picked nervous. We gotta play into the nervous. Were the two of you really cute together? Your meals were delivered shortly after that, and everything was so delicious. Even Cove enjoyed his food.
Okay.
Alright, now that we're all full and content, can you explain, please, why you've had a bug up your butt all day? Laws, are you up Cove's butt? What's happening? Cove's face scrunched at that. Seriously, baby, what did Mom do to make you this mad? I haven't even been around a full day yet. Isn't this game so cute, Kit? I'm like... emotions. It's so cute. They're so cute and wholesome. He gripped the edge of the table, refusing to make eye contact. The words he spoke were barely audible over the din of the restaurant. You could have told me. She leaned forward to not miss anything else, eyebrows raised. Told you what? He finally seemed to find his voice and spoke the thoughts that had been on his mind. That I wasn't gonna visit you this year, that you were gonna be coming instead. Didn't you invite me? You wanted me here with you. Cove's eyes began to shake and his frustration ebbed. I do want you to be around, but I didn't know it'd be like this. It's not the same and nobody said anything.
I see.
Her expression grew tense. She threaded her fingers together and placed her hands in front of her on the table. We've both been gifted another Clifford surprise. Referring to that as a Clifford surprise almost caused both of you and Cove to crack a smile. You also had no idea his name wasn't just Cliff. Over 5 years, nobody had ever called him Clifford until now. Clifford is Cove's dad, for anyone who doesn't know. She smoothed her hair out, not letting go her stern look. The more things change, the more they stay the same. They let out identical sighs, but smiled weakly at one another afterwards.
I'm sorry.
I can go home, Cove. We can still set up a normal trip to my place before the summer ends. Cove's lips tightly closed together. He seriously pondered the option.
I mean...
I think I do want you to stay. I miss it when you're not there. My heart! She reached across the gap, grabbed his face, and planted a kiss on his cheek. Cove tried to wiggle away. Mom, stop! I'm sorry, sweet. Young men need to be smooched by their parents. If I don't, they'll take away my mom license. Kira was completely enthused by Cove's admission, though a tone of seriousness did return to her voice when the conversation continued. Do you want to talk to your dad too?
No.
Cove had snapped the word instantly, but reeled his annoyance back in just as quickly. Maybe later, not today.
It's alright.
I understand. We can shelve it. Thanks, Mom. Thank you for talking to me, little mister. She grinned affectionately at him before turning your way. And thank you, Devin. Huh? What did I do? It's easy to act like a baby with your mom. It's harder to keep that up with your neighbor watching everything. Especially when you really care about what said neighbor thinks of you. She winked. Mom! She just ruffled his hair with a laugh, then moved her hand down to tap the end of his nose. And that was how the issue was resolved, at least between Cove and his mom. When the three of you left the restaurant and Kira had paid the bill, you walked back to your neighborhood slowly. You had eaten so much by that time you were beginning to feel sleepy. It didn't help that the lunch had happened late and the sun was already beginning to descend from the sky. But eventually, oh my god, Mr. Holden aged with like fine wine. Look at that beautiful mane of hair. Oh my god. But eventually you reached your suite. Someone was there to greet you upon your arrival. Welcome back, family. And Devin, too.
Huh.
Cliff. Dad. The two walked past him into the condo without sparing another word. Despite the summer heat, their shoulders were cold. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. He rubbed the back of his neck with a crooked smile, but his eyes were soft as he looked on after them. He's so much like his mom, don't you think? You gave a vague nod, but sure what he was expecting you to do. He nodded back for more energetically. Okay, have a nice night, Devin. You too, Mr. Holden. With that, Cove's dad disappeared to join the others inside. It was your turn to go home now. Summer hadn't started off at all how you imagined it would have, though it turned out to set the tone well. Having Kira in the neighborhood was a new experience for not only you and Cove, but also both your families, and a dull moment was rarely had. Here we go, folks! Okay, what do we want to start with? Do we want to do wave, growing, family, dinner, road trip, mall, birthday, summer work, escapade, or soiree? I feel like the soiree sounds like it should be last. Because it sounds like it's going to be quite interesting. I think I'll probably do one of these if you want to pick the one that you want to see today. And then next Sunday we'll do, which will be Valentine's Day, I'm pretty sure, if my math is correct. Next Sunday is Valentine's Day, and so we will finish out Summer 2 next Sunday. But I think I probably only have one more of these chapters in me today. Mall? Okay. Let's do Mall. Lee's visit today turned out to be more involved than you expected. After overhearing where the Holden family was going, Lee insisted on seeing Mr. Holden's shop firsthand. An hour later, and Lee was busy looking at every item on display. Because Cove's dad offered supplies, lessons, and tours, his shop had all the scuba-related stuff you could imagine. Fins, masks, suits, and snorkels. After circling around the shop, you finally stopped and looked at the whole room. This was the first time you'd been here, too. It wasn't often you tagged along to hang out at the shop. You'd spent a lot of time here over the years. It wasn't often that you tagged along to hang out at the shop. You preferred it that way. It meant there was always something new to look at, even if it was just a layout change. You're in good spirits. This was a pleasant surprise. Visiting the shop made for a fun afternoon. Just the other day, Cove was telling you about the new wetsuits, and now you got to check them out. Lee was still busy poking through the various wetsuits displays, so you decided to see what Derek and Cove were doing. They were too absorbed in their conversation to notice you standing near them. Leaning against the counter, you were able to pick up the topic quickly.
Anyway.
And my dad told me the new stuff is selling like crazy. Yeah? That material has a new blend with less neoprene. Oh god. My dad says people are really interested in it. It brought a smile to your face hearing that the shop was doing well. You decided to keep listening. It was interesting just to watch them speak about what they knew. But really, there's just so much to think about with a business. It's crazy. No matter how much I come, I still don't think I get it. Cove hummed and nodded in agreement, causing a good-humored laugh from Derek. I thought you were only like the scuba diving part, not the job part. That's just the best part. I think about other things too.
I gotcha.
Cool. The business side, running it, that's my favorite. Are they gonna work together in the future? Wait, I love this. How cute. Out of the corner of your eye, you caught movement and you realized that Lee was now standing next to you. When your dad's retired, do you guys think you're gonna carry on the store? Lee, twins, mine twins. Reminder, Lee is your cousin, and Derek is friend, and Cove his interest, I believe. Both sons shrugged in unison.
Well,
There's a ton of things I could do. My dad thinks so too. He doesn't want me to plan on working here forever. Cove's gaze fell to the floor. You could see the conflict flashing across his face.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a lot being the real boss of something and totally in charge. Mom said there I'd take over. If Mom said one, I wouldn't want to take over either. I can't run a business. I wouldn't want to take over someone else's shop either. I want to do my own thing. Then do you think your dads would let me take over this shop? No matter what you both do, shop or no shop, you'll be amazing. Oh, we're doing that one. Oh, they're good dudes. They'll be amazing. Derek smiled in equal parts happiness and bashfulness. He bounced on his feet a bit. Thanks, Devin. I'm happy you believe in us. Me too. Cove's parents left the back office and came over, catching your attention. Sorry, kids. It looks like it's gonna be a long one. I know usually others hold the fort down, but I really need to stay here today. I know you just wanted a little visit. It'd be boring getting... Why does Kira's name, is it Kira, but Cove's dad's name is Cove's dad and not Cliff or Mr. Holden or whatever? Like, why does she get her own name in the text box and he's just Cove's dad? Kira can take my car and go back to the neighborhood. Cove and Derek gave him an understanding look. Mr. Holden crossed his arms and flashed you all a big smile, trying to lift the mood. The one condition is that someone has to remember to come back for me later. You don't get to strand me here, no matter how funny that might be. Kira laughed and gave a thumbs up. Mr. Holden seemed satisfied with that. He moved on with the explanation. Derek, your dad also has his hands full today, so he doesn't have time to run you back home.
It's okay.
That's alright, sir. The title sir got an awkward chuckle out of Cliff, which was cut short when Kira elbowed him teasingly. You already said I could borrow your car. Why don't I take all the kids somewhere fun for the afternoon?
Absolutely.
That's fine with me. Just please come back eventually, sometime today, Kira. After multiple jokes about being left with no ride, you had to wonder if that actually happened in their past together. For you, my good sir, I swear, cross my heart. Happy with the promise, Cliff took out his black wallet and offered a $50 bill to Kira. Here, in case you need gas or anything else while you're out. Kira smiled knowingly and accepted the bill without hesitation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cove's dad stuck the wallet in his back pocket while he waved with the free hand. Okay, time for me to jump back into work. Have fun for me. Bye, Dad. Bye. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Holden. Cove's goodbye, sirs, madams, and most respected guests. I'm using that from now on. What a great gender-neutral way of addressing humans. Most respected guests. Oh my god, that's what I'm calling all of you now. You guys are going to be my most respected guests. Wait, I love that so much. That's so good. He left the room with a wink and a flare, disappearing into the employees-only area of the shop. When Mr. Holden was out of sight, Kira silently strolled over to the counter and carefully placed the $50 bill there. She turned back around and beamed a large smile at you and the others. Come on, gang. Let's see if this town has a mall. Yeah! Yes! Unable to contain her excitement, Lee actually jumped with joy while Cove and Derek just grinned. There wasn't a mall in your hometown, but Mr. Holden's store wasn't in Sunset Bird. It might be possible to find a mall out here. You felt pumped. You didn't show your enthusiasm much, but you could definitely feel it. Let's go. She quickly herded the group out of the store and into the car. I like that she put the $50 bill back on the counter, like, try to pay for things. As a driver, I get to choose my partner in crime. Naturally, I bestow the position of shotgun to my baby. Her comment had both Derek and Lee snickering. Cove was for sure embarrassed over the phrasing and blatant favoritism, but he took the seat by his mom without complaint. We always stick up for our boy. Cove's not a baby. He can decide wherever he wants to sit. Cove ran a hand nervously through his hair. He was in disbelief that you did disagree with his parents like that. Sorry, Cove.
My baby.
Devin, you're right. Cove's not a baby, but he will always be my baby. A precious baby boy. Kira turned to Cove. Her expression lit up just by looking at him, and he became even more awkward. Oh no, he made it worse. I couldn't think of anyone better I'd want sitting shotgun with me, but if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. I'll love him no matter what.
That's,
I'm already here. I'll just stay. He still looked like he wanted to crawl back out of his own skin. Unfortunately, your attempt to help backfired. Moms can be tricky that way. Oh my god. It's okay, Cove. We're just a friend anyways. I'll take the middle seat. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want a window seat. You two can have them. Are you cool with that? You thought it was odd that anyone would give up a window seat, but you knew Derek tried to be especially polite when he was a guest. You nodded.
Fantastic.
Sounds good. It sounds like we're all in agreement. Everyone squeezed into the car, buckling in, and Kira turned the radio on. She set it to the top 40s pop station. You were into it. Yeah, just a friend. That will forever go down in history as like the best TV line ever. Marinette's just a friend. Okay. I'm so happy that you're here, Kit, and you understand that reference. Really has just made the stream for me. Quickly, you recognized the song playing. It was a new one by an artist you were listening to a lot recently. It wasn't long until your group realized that they were lost. But after driving in enough circles, Kira's struggle paid off when she rounded a local mall. There were more cheers from Lee and Kira as Kira pulled into a parking spot. Once the group had made it inside, the first order of business on this trip was checking out the mall actually had. Where should we go? Ooh, I think I see a makeup store ahead. She rolled up on her tiptoes to get a better view. Meanwhile, Derek was eyeing the directory. There's a chocolate shop. Seriously, we have to go there. Yes, wait, and we need to find a decent jewelry shop. I need new hair ties and a barrette. Nice. We've always gotta at least look for a game store. There's tons of things you can't get anywhere but a store that's just for video games. I bet he put money on GameStop. Hey, what are you thinking, Cove? Oh, that was Kira. Oops. I want to look at Finish in the pet store. You could have guessed that much. Anywhere else? He smiled with some bashfulness. Can we go to a camping and outdoor supply shop? What about you, Devin? Where do we want to go? I want to go bookstore. We said that we were bookworms, so I feel like that's a good one. We probably like the campings and the pet store. Anywhere Cove wants to go, we're gonna go. And an art supply store, and the food court, and a music shop because we said we play the drums. And we play video games. And why not the makeup store? That's all that really interested you. That's certainly a list. Good thing we have all afternoon. Yeah! I have my own stops I want to make. Let's agree to regroup here at 7 p.m.
What?
You're not coming with us? We're all in the same building. You won't be as alone as you think. I'll only be a few minutes away at most. You're old enough to enjoy the mall without me hovering. Okay.
See you soon.
Be back at 7 p.m. Toodaloo! Leaving Derek and Lee stunned by their newfound freedom, Kira walked off. When she was almost out of sight, Derek's face twisted in confusion. Wow, she's really gone. I can't believe she just did that. This is so cool! We get to do whatever we want! You're happy about it. Talk about an amazing opportunity. You felt unsure about the situation. Was this really okay? You felt okay about the situation. You weren't happy about it. This was not what you had in mind. Was it really okay? Is it me or does it feel weird to be at a mall without a parent there? My moms wouldn't have done this. It's not just you.
Trust me.
It will be okay. We're here together. And she's not gone for real. She'll be somewhere around. With the decision already made, Derek tried to pull together his early enthusiasm for the trip. So, where are we going first? Time's a-wasting. Whatever's closest. Things were coming together, but you realized there might be a flaw in today's sudden plans. What's wrong, Devin? Did everybody bring money with them? Yeah! I did. I always have someone on me when I come all the way out here. Oh no, did we bring money? You had money too. You left all your money at home. The original plan was only visiting Mr. Holden's store. You didn't have any money at all since you always ended up spending it when you got it. What do we do? Do we have money? I feel like when I was was a kid, would I have brought money with me if I was just going to a store? Probably. Just in case. I definitely would have had some. Not a lot, but some. Immediately you felt better about the situation. It would have been a downer not to be able to even think about something at the mall because they didn't have money. I'm good. Now that everything was squared away, you explored the mall together as a group. There were many shops that you managed to venture into so far. You all even went into a bookstore, leaving you with a pep in your step. This was better than you thought, and there was still so much to see. After having hit many of your top priority stores, you found yourself passing by a small booth. It was decorated in wind chimes of various sizes. You raised a hand up to one of the smaller ones. What sparked your attention next was Cove. You thought for sure he was going to stop at the booth by the way he looked at it, but he kept going. Do you want one? It wasn't until Lee asked that you realized that you had stopped in front of the booth without saying anything. Lee just continued to encourage you. You should get one! Oh my god, wait, can we buy it for Cove? Can we buy Cove a wind chime? Right, at least bring enough for the food court. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to a store, I feel like you'd have something. Okay, wait, I want to buy it for Cove. How do we buy it for Cove? I'm just looking, I don't really like them. You wanted one, but for someone else. That's what we want. We want that one. We're gonna buy it for Cove. They had caught your attention, though it was because it might make a nice gift. You wondered if Lee was planning on becoming a wind chime salesperson since she kept pushing it. I have one like this at my home, and it makes the prettiest sound. Fishing your money out, you made a decision on what to buy. You got one for yourself and for Cove. You got one for Cove. We're buying it for Cove. We're gonna buy it for Cove. Can I buy this one, please? You smiled to yourself, imagining what he'll think of it. Lee raised an eyebrow at that. The shopkeeper, oh my god, they're so cute! Wrapped your purchase up and handed it back to you in a bag. You accepted and then raced off with Lee to catch up to the boys. For Cove, you had picked out a beautiful wind chime that had a dolphin charm, was a simple design of just silver poles, had crystal strands. Okay, what do we think Cove would like? Well, okay, so Mr. Holden always has dolphins on him, and Cove likes the ocean, and I'm pretty sure he has dolphin stuff, right? I feel like the silver poles isn't quite his scene, but crystals maybe. He might like crystals because he really liked our seashells, so I feel like he could be a crystal guy. Dolphin? Dolphin? Should I do dolphin? I'm gonna do dolphin. You had a feeling he'd appreciate that. After leaving another clothing store, one that Lee couldn't resist exploring, you and your friends found yourself walking down the main hall of the mall again. Yeah, Kit. Okay, good. I'm glad you agree. The charm. It wasn't long until everyone you were with had their eye on the smoothie kiosk ahead. Should we stop? Yeah. Are we gonna get smoothies? As you approached, your eye was drawn to the dizzying list of smoothie combinations. A part of you wondered how long it would take to try them all. Hey there, do you need a rundown of how this works? Yes, please. Okay, first you pick up 3 options of fruits or berries. Then I'll add the ice in the store's special smoothie base mix, and then you'll have your very own smoothie for $4. There's only one size. Cove leaned over to the counter a bit. For several moments, he intently studied the plentiful fruit and berry options. I want to get a strawberry banana smoothie with coconut too. Sounds good. Is anyone else getting us something? Can I get one that's just all mango? Of course.
Thanks.
I like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for mine. Thanks. The shopkeeper looked at you now. I want one. Could I get... let's get a kiwi, mango banana mix. And that's everything. At that, everyone went ahead and paid for their individual drinks. You waited over at the side of the booth where the drinks were put. When they were done, Derek bounced on his feet, excited for his to be ready.
Aww.
This is gonna be good! Lee chimed in with her own enthusiasm. Everybody says that their smoothie-based stuff can make any drink great. Cove, while quieter, looked as eager for his smoothie. Luckily, there hadn't been anyone else before you, so it wasn't a long wait. Your group collected the fresh drinks as they were placed on the counter. Straws were placed through the opening at the top of the cup, and the first tentative sips were had. Derek sighed in satisfaction at his taste. Mango is too delicious. Mine is super good too. Cove nodded and hummed in agreement. His straw was still in his mouth. You were really happy with yours. This is perfect. Cool, we all made excellent choices today. Yeah. Oh my god, can we try your smoothie, Cove? Cove, could I have a drink of yours? I thought Cove accidentally inhaled as if he was drinking. Ah! He gets so flustered. Oh my god, he's so freaking cute. His face is burning red from embarrassment from the coffee that shook him. Dude, are you okay? Derek gave Cove a few pats on the back. His hacking was only starting to slow. I bet it ended up going down the wrong way. It sucks when that happens. Lee elbowed you teasingly. The moment she got your attention, she started laughing and gesturing between you and Cove. Moments later, Cove was finally able to breathe normally. He wiped his mouth with his free hand. I'm so sorry, Cove. I couldn't resist teasing you. You're just so cute. His gaze locked to the floor as he nervously started chewing on his straw. You could tell he was torn. He didn't seem to want to say no. Oh no, but he couldn't bring himself to say yes either. Oh my god, Cove, I'm so sorry. Derek couldn't watch the scene anymore. Drinking his own smoothie, he pretended to be fascinated by the displays of the stores your group was passing by. Lee hadn't stopped looking over you two. You could tell she was living for every bit of this situation. Cove's unhappy stare went from Lee to Derek, all while still shyly sipping his smoothie. You wonder if he was trying to will them to intervene. Feeling his stare, I made it so awkward. Oh, I feel so bad. The only response he offered was an understanding sigh. I don't know what to do. I don't want to make it worse. Should we just let it go? Who knew that asking to drink someone's smoothie could cause such a situation? You decided to let it go. I'm sorry. You should just keep it. He stared at you, looking conflicted still. A few heartbeats later, the tension eased in his face. He sighed. Sorry. I really don't mind, I promise. Cove nodded, but he couldn't meet your eyes. You were satisfied with that. You wanted to ask someone else to try this very sneakily. You wanted to steal some from someone else. No, we're satisfied. That was awkward. We're done with that. That was too awkward. As your group continued to wander the mall, you came to an area in the path that was wider. Oh? I want to ride. I think we might be too big.
No way!
No way! We're not that old yet. He eagerly headed out to the machines, wanting to get a better look. Lee went along with it, smiling. You want to ride too. You quickly chased after Derek. He turned his head back at the sound of your footsteps and gave a thumbs up over his shoulder. Reconvening around Derek, you watched as he was focused on the various brightly colored rides. Most were designed to look like real vehicles, but there were also some horsey-shaped ones. One of them could even seat 2 people. Lee leaned in close to you and whispered playfully while pointing directly at the sole machine made for a pair. Oh no! You should ride that one with Cove. Oh no! Well, we're nervous, so I feel like we would roll our eyes at her. Her response had Lee giggling. Trust me, it's a brilliant idea. I call the helicopter. Why?
Cool.
It's the coolest, and I think it'll move the most. He started digging in his pockets, pulling out whatever money he had left. Wait, is everything okay? I need 4 quarters, right? Yeah. I only have 2. There has to be more between all of us. Hold on. Pockets, wallets, and purses were checked over. Derek still had 2. Cove had only 1. Lee ended up with the most at 3. You didn't have any.
Don't worry about it.
You can have mine. Thanks, but you don't have to. It's not enough for me, and even if it was, I'd be down to ride while you had to watch. Cove shrugged. He had tried, failed, and looked unsure what to do next. Why don't we all get on one ride? Couldn't we exchange bills from our quarters at a store? You didn't offer a suggestion. Derek slapped a hand to his cheek, eyes wide. Oh yeah, that'll work. Let's do it. The group scattered to various shops around. When you shortly reconvened at the rides, everyone had more than enough quarters. There was no wiping the smile off your face, despite the little hiccup initially. The plan to hitch a ride was coming together. Let's get this over with. We have the coins. Cheer up, man. It's gonna be good. Yeah. Okay, which one do we pick, everyone? There were enough machines that everyone claimed one for themselves. Derek got his coveted helicopter. Lee was happy on the horse. Cove waited to choose last. It seemed he didn't want to take a ride someone else wanted when he cared so little about it. You picked. Do we pick the two-seater? Should we listen to Lee's plan? See if Cove will sit with us? I have a feeling he won't. I feel like if we pick the double-seater, Cove will go on something else. Or we have to bring Cove with us. Which I don't feel like we would do, being nervous as we are. So I don't know. What should we do? What should we do? Anyone have any strong feelings? We have an option of a horse too, the one that looked like a motorcycle, or a single-seater car, or we can do the double-seater, just if you can't read the options. That's what they are. I'm kind of curious to see what Cove does if we take the double-seater and don't bring him with us, because he's a nervous fellow, right? So if we don't bring him, he didn't even let us drink from his smoothie cup, so I feel like he won't sit with us. But maybe he will, because we are just really good friends. Okay, I'm talking myself into it. I think I'm gonna pick the double-seater, but not bring Cove, and see what happens. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Must save, just in case. We'll see. You like the idea of having some extra room. Cove took one of the free. Yeah, he's single-seater. Oh man, okay. Wait. Should we try the double-seater? I want to know what happens. Miraculous ladybug, more like a miraculous love bug. Okay, so double-seater then. Kit, double-seater, we're bringing Cove with us. Cove, you have to sit with me. He gave a bent smile and put a hand on his hip when he saw the ride you pointed out.
I don't know.
Do you really want to try fitting me in that? You might actually be comfortable if you use it by yourself. That doesn't matter. I want to ride with you. Alright. Wait, he's going with us! Lee winked at the two of you from her pony as she squished next to one another in the child-sized seat. Lee! Best wing woman! Oh my god. Looks like we're exchanged across the way, and you each popped the coins in at the same time. The little rise stuttered to life. As the machines began moving up and down, and side to side, Lee and Derek couldn't contain their laughter. Derek started waving from the window of the helicopter, and Lee reached out to see if she could touch anyone as their machine jolted closer to hers. Cove, on the other hand, just gripped the side of the car. He was struggling to remain in the seat, looking very uncomfortable. Oh man, I'm sorry, Cove. You were quickly regretting your decision to do this. You waved back. You stretched out to grab Lee. You tried to encourage Cove. You personally just sat quietly. Let's encourage Cove. We're sitting with him. It was terrible seeing how unhappy Cove was with this. You wondered if there was anything you could do to make him feel better. Cove, don't worry. Cove's concentration was broken when he automatically looked in your direction. He looked at you meekly. I don't think you can fall off these. Well, unless you try hard enough. Cove shook his head and his hands gripped the ride like his life depended on it. We'll be fine. You gave him a little thumbs up, and he had to fight to keep frowning. But ultimately, he weakly returned the thumbs up with his free hand. The rest of the rides passed without any tumbles, and you were sure you even caught a small smile peek at times on Cove's face. Soon, all the rides came to a stop, and the group dismounted. Derek looked absolutely pleased at the conclusion at this pit stop. Then you notice something out of the corner of your eye. You tilted your head to look directly at it, and you burst into laughter. What's funny? You turned back to your group and nodded in the direction of where you were looking. Isn't that one of those machines that takes dollars and gives quarters back? The kind to help people who don't have quarters already? Everyone's head moved that way and saw that you were right. Derek chuckled awkwardly. That's exactly what that is.
Oh.
We're kinda dumb. We have to miss that this whole time. Come on, let's just put this behind us. There's still places open. We haven't been everywhere yet.
Totally.
Here! You moved along from one stop towards your next, still jovial from the experience. Surely into your walk, Lee ran over to a nearby trash can and tossed her smoothie cup. Derek went after her and threw his cup away. You followed suit and got rid of your empty cup too. Cove made it over to trash can, but he didn't toss his cup. Hey Devin? What's going on, Cove? Hi. Yeah? Cove held his cup out towards you and you looked at him quizzically.
I mean...
You can finish it if you want. It's a little melted, but it's still good. You couldn't quite meet your gaze. You were pretty sure that you could see his cheeks turning pink. Oh, this was his compromise. Leaving Cove to his embarrassment, you noticed that he left enough to have a good taste. There was no stopping the large smile growing on your face. He didn't forget about it. Oh my god, why is Cove the sweetest human to ever exist in the planet? That's so freaking thoughtful. He was just embarrassed in front of everyone. After your antics earlier, you had made peace with the fact that you weren't going to get any of his drink. You figured it was easier for him to give it away since you didn't have any plans to drink more of it now. Thanks, Cove. You took his cup and held it with both hands. The last of his smoothie was very sweet. That seemed fitting. He's such a little love bug! Oh my god, Kit! Pretty good, huh? Very good. You threw the cup out with the rest and sighed content. The clock inched closer to 7 p.m. as you all made your way back to the directory. It was hard to believe how fast the day went by.
So...
Oh, where do you think your mom ended up today? We didn't see her anywhere. I don't know. She's just like that. Ew, it's a mystery. Despite having vanished the entire trip so far, when 7 p.m. hit, you spotted Kira coming right over, waving cheerily. As soon as she was close enough, she pinched Cove's cheeks.
Hey,
Hey, baby, and friends. Hi, Mom. He pushed her hand back with one hand and rubbed his cheek with the other. Did you have a good day, gang? Yeah! Today was awesome. We did so much.
not bad.
It was fun. You really enjoyed your day. There was no hiding your joy. Like the others, you were smiling ear to ear because today went so much better than you expected. I'm glad we came here.
That I do.
I wanted to hear all about it during the ride back. She clapped her hands together once, making sure she had everyone's undivided attention. Speaking of that, we better head out. Cliff must be missing us, and we're gotta be starving. It's dinner time, and we haven't eaten it yet. Yeah. Everyone followed her lead and started walking out the door to the parking lot. Something about what Kira said fell off to you. There were tons of places to eat. It's a mall. You could have had dinner. You wonder if it was just a good guess, but you could feel your eyebrows raise when it dawned on you. She might have been keeping an eye on you after all. That was actually pretty slick. If she hadn't made that comment, you never would have known. You found it hard not to be impressed. Not once could you recall even catching a glimpse of her hanging around, though now that you think about it, not seeing her ever was suspicious in and of itself. Shaking off those thoughts, you caught up to the others. Keeping the same seating arrangement as earlier, you all piled into the car and started heading back to the store. The drive went by without any problems, as it was filled with chatter about various things everyone saw around the mall. Even soon enough, you'd arrived at your destination. It was a much faster trip, considering this time Kira knew where she was going. Hearing the light jingle of the bells from the front door being opened, Cliff poked his head out from the back. He lit up seeing who was there. Hey, sport! Did everyone have an adventure? Hi, Dad. Yeah, we had a blast. Yes! We found the mall.
Aw.
The mall? Wish I could have joined. He deflated in an exaggerated way. His shoulders sloped. Kira put a hand on his arm and smiled.
Any whoosies?
You'll be at other times. Are you set here? I love that she says any whoosies all the time. Almost. Mr. Holden sighed for real. He then pulled himself together, standing up straight.
Do you mind?
I need just a little more time to finish up. We'll be alright killing time for a bit longer. It's okay. Yes, sir. No problem, Mr. Holden.
Sure.
Yes, we can have fun here. Excellent. What a great group of kids. He gave an approving thumbs up and Kira nodded along. I'll give you a hand. I remember the ropes. Why, thank you. They walked side by side to the back room. Before he was out of sight, Cliff stopped and looked over his shoulder. If I leave the shop, don't go far. It's getting late. And then the parents were gone again. Let's go to the docks. They're right down that way. Yeah! Oh, I saw this on the way here and really want to check it out. Are you coming, Devin? All right. With a smile, Cove showed the way. Between the warm summer air and the smell of the ocean, you couldn't ask for a better night.
Thanks.
Thanks for letting me come. Me too.
Right?
Right? I'm happy we did this. Today was great. Cove, your mom and dad are really cool. Really? Totally. Cove looked at Lead oddly. He ran a hand through his hair, and then his puzzled expression cracked with a chuckle.
Yes.
I guess sometimes they are. You continue walking. Every so often you could look up at the sky and see several stars poking out between the clouds. At one point you noticed that Cove stopped while Lee and Derek kept going on ahead, busily chatting. Initially you wondered if something was wrong, but you quickly noticed that he still looked to be in good spirits. You decided to hang back with Cove. He gave you a quick acknowledging look when he stopped at his side. You could taste the sea salt as you took a deep breath of the ocean air. Silently, you and Cove watched the ocean for a little while. There was something about the waves that you always found soothing. You couldn't think of a better way to end a busy day. And then it hit you. The wind chime! Yes! Oh my god, wait, we get to give it to him! This was the perfect moment. Quickly, you dug the wrapper package out of your bag. Hey, Cove? He barely replied. Instead, his focus was mostly on the lazy watching the sea. The paper wrapper crinkled as he pushed the package forward, trying to make him realize. He finally caught sight of it and his eyebrows raised up high. Gingerly, Cove accepted the gift. Just seeing the present brought a smile to Cove's face. He carefully opened it and his whole body brightened as he recognized the chime.
Oh my god.
You talked about how he seemed to want it. You said that the wind chime simply made you think of him. You explained that Cove had given you gifts and you wanted to give him something. You didn't know what to say now. We would probably blabber about how we thought he wanted it. I really thought you were going to buy it. When you didn't, I couldn't resist. Cove's smile seemed to grow even bigger and its blush deepened. He looked sincerely happy. You're just... He wasn't even able to find the words to finish his thought. Oh my god, I feel you, Cove. Nice people. Oh, my heart. Oh my god, what a cinnamon bun. Then Cove started getting shy over his bashfulness and put a hand up over his mouth. You were so happy that buying the wind chime was the right call.
Devin.
I'll take good care of it, Devin. Thank you. You're welcome. Not much time later, Derek's chipper voice caught your attention. You and Cove both turned your gaze down the pier. What are you doing there, Slowpoke? Get over here!
Hey!
Yay! Come here, on! You looked at Cove. At the same time, he looked at you. You grinned and nodded your head in the direction of your friends. He gave you a small smile in return. Your footsteps echoed against the wooden planks of the docks and into the night as you ran to catch up. That was so flippin' cute! Oh my god, I'm so glad we decided to buy that freaking wind chime. Tell me that wasn't just like... That was so cute. I'm so freaking happy right now that we decided to do that. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. I super appreciate you all for hanging out with me and experiencing our life. Next Sunday on Valentine's Day, we'll do another Our Life stream. And we'll be finishing up summer 2, which is the teen years, and then we'll move into adulthood after that. Thank you all for being here. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend and a great Monday. And I will see you soon on Tuesday for Dragon Age, 7 p.m. Eastern Standing Time. I think we're finishing out some main quest stuff, so it should be fun. And I will see you there. Bye!